You're live.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the delay. We've had some squirrels. We always have squirrels, but we had some serious squirrels this morning. So fingers crossed the squirrels stay at bay for the rest of the live stream today. It is Friday, June 11th. It's 10:30-ish a.m. Eastern. And today I am going to try to make a mini Mighty Mile a Minute baby blanket. So just a small version of the calendar blanket we're doing, but I'm only going to focus on one stitch because I'm going for speed. So what I really want to do here is to see just how fast a little baby blanket can come together using the mile a minute concept. So I'm going to crochet as fast as I can. I've selected this to be my pattern color. This is a really pretty sort of twisted, variegated colored baby yarn. These are both acrylics. But obviously, if you were making a baby blanket, cotton is great, linen is great, bamboo is great, blends are great. I just had this pretty little yarn sort of in my collection. I thought I would give it a whirl. Size 4. This is technically a size 3, but you know with the weight categories, they can kind of mesh together. I did a couple of little tests with them, and they're essentially the same thickness. So I don't know why one sort of got categorized as a 3 and the other one a 4, but they're both nice and not heavy. They're soft, they're pretty. This is going to be my border color, and I've chosen a 5mm hook for today. This is an H or I think an 8 in the US. Hook, pair of scissors, yarn needle. I've got a little stitch marker because when I'm crocheting a mile a minute strip, I like to count off the rows and clip it so that I know where I am so I don't have to keep recounting from the bottom. And I think I'm going to do 38 rows per strip. So that's sort of the overview of the whole thing. And I've chosen the seashell stitch because I love the seashell stitch. And I feel like of the 6 we've done so far, that one's the fastest. So I'm going to be making every strip in the seashell stitch. I'm going to be using the same concept border that we've been using all along for the MMAM. And that's it. I'm going to zip in. I'm just going to see how far I can get today. We're going to live stream for quite a while. This is a real chill, casual Friday morning kind of thing. We've got some silly questions. We're probably going to play with the new poll feature. So this is a drop in, drop out whenever you sort of feel like you've got to run off and do something or you want to pop back in for a little while. We'll be here hanging out. I'm thinking at least a couple hours. I mean, it took us a while to get going in the first place. So we'll be here for a while. I've got my coffee. I've got a glass of water. I think Mr. InStitches just ran off to get himself a cup of coffee. And that's what we're going to do. So as soon as Mr. InStitches come back, we're going to do a little tech check to make sure you can hear us. That's the most important thing. And see us. That the visuals don't have to be super A-okay. We do have a tutorial on the seashell stitch. So if you need to see that again, or if you're sitting there going, what's a calendar blanket? What's this MMAM you're talking about? We've been doing, the bell's here.
I'm busting out the bell today.
The bell has been busted out.
There was a purpose for that.
Oh, really?
Yes, we have to welcome a new member.
Oh, hey, wonderful.
Or a renewal or something. Let me quickly
scroll back and find it.
Yeah, I got my coffee. I'm all set now.
Now that we've
a big welcome to Andrea.
Andrea, hi, welcome to the family.
Yeah.
Marvelous.
Let me make sure I didn't miss anything here.
While you're doing that, I'm going to pull out my yarn and get it ready. Oh, this is so pretty. I don't know if anybody is terribly interested in the yarn I have specifically. This is all from my stash, so I don't even know if half of it's even in production anymore. But I do know that this is somebody asked me, one of the family members, I think it was Diane, asked me yesterday what this was. This is a James C. Brett baby marble. So that's what this ball of yarn is.
I've never heard of that brand.
Yeah, I think
James C. Brett.
James C. Brett.
Oh,
yeah, I see that. This is those kinds of yarns. You don't typically find them in the craft stores. You find them in the independent yarn sellers.
Yeah.
It's a nicer kind of ball of yarn, nicer acrylic. I think this might be one of the ones we picked up when we were at Mary Maxim.
Oh, yeah. Fancy pants.
So very pretty. And as far as a dye lot, it's like $2.95 or something, and a shade is like also like C12. I don't know. It didn't have any interesting inspirational names associated with it. Just baby marble. That's the brand. James C.
I love the combination.
It's so beautiful. Like the inside's all pinks, and this is a Bernat Baby Sport, pure white. So,
I think I need a little train set. that shows up like in front of you and like loads up all your tools and yarn and drives away with them every time we get a.
We do have a train set.
I know. Uh-oh. Big light bulb.
Oh, I just realized how much fun
You're going to put me to work now. I shouldn't have said that.
Silly you.
So there was a purpose for the bell ringing. I'm not just going off on the bell for no reason. So another big welcome to a new member, Life in Stitches.
Life in Stitches.
Yes,
oh, that's
thanks
so
for
sweet.
joining.
Thank you. Welcome.
And we got a super chat from Marilyn.
Hey, Marilyn.
Marilyn
gotta be the afternoon there.
says, you two are definitely helping me keep going, even though I'm depressed and everything else feels meaningless sometimes. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing that, because I feel like a lot of us are probably feeling like that right now.
You are not alone.
We are in
Marilyn.
month 16 of lockdown here. Our stay-at-home order is lifting, but the lockdowns really aren't changing a whole lot. It depends on where you are, but
yeah. Politics and bureaucracy.
Yeah, politics and bureaucracy and a lot of confusing and conflicting information. Most of us are just so confused. We just sort of like, I guess I'll just stay where I am.
Yeah. No, it's completely understandable.
Yeah, we were just saying,
I mean,
to be
people,
fair,
you know, people have their ups and downs just during regular time.
Now,
life. And now with this, it's like it's almost
I'd being cut off from people, and
it's practically manufactured.
It's
like
yeah, it's almost like
it's like a factory is manufacturing depression.
Stop.
Yeah, boot in the face, boot in the face, boot in the face, boot in the face.
Yeah, it's really depressing. So
we need to play some Pink Floyd.
We
what's that song they do? The
I
Wall.
mean, that entire album, pretty much.
Yeah, The Wall. That's
basically
it.
getting stomped on. Yeah. That's how it feels. So I think we're all hoping that this is for the greater good, and eventually we'll come out the other end and we'll be
hopefully
in a much better spot, all of us combined. But you're not alone if you're feeling stressed out and you know and alone and like isolated and stuff. You're not alone.
You're not alone. All of our friends and family we talk to feels exactly the same way. Yeah. So it's.
So yeah, not to dwell on the depressing stuff, because we're here to
stick to the
here to escape all that today.
Let's stick to the happy stuff.
But yeah, we hear you, baby. We're not we're not floating on cloud 9 or anything.
No.
I have to say,
it's the caffeine.
It's
the caffeine makes it. And
we had oatmeal for breakfast. We had a nice bowl of oatmeal with some apple.
Yeah.
You got to count the little victories on days like today. Okay, so as you know, if you're following along with the mini mystery or the mighty mile a minute calendar blanket project, the seashell stitch starts with a chain of 12. All of my strip patterns are going to be exactly the same. So I've started with 12. I got to find the 8th chain back from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a 2-row repeater, as you know. It starts with an extended V-stitch, which is a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, and then you skip all the way to the last chain and double crochet into it. So row 1 is extremely fast. This is why I picked this particular stitch pattern for today's little challenge. I'm going to call this a challenge. Every row begins with a chain 3. The even row is the big worked into the middle of that extended V-stitch. And then once you get through those 5, I always do 4 really quick, and then I have to stop and count.
Sounds good.
Double crochet into the top of the turning chains at the end of that row. That's row 2. So I'm just going to hold that up quickly. So that's the first row and the second row of the stitch pattern.
You better keep your yarn fluff out of my coffee. Otherwise, me and the squirrels are coming after you.
I will do my best.
I will charge all the squirrels in the yard at your yarn. You would love that. Though.
I would.
You'd be like, this is the best.
I'd be like giving it out like candy and party favors. Yeah.
We've got another super chat.
Goodness gracious!
Everyone's being so generous.
Thanks, guys.
We really appreciate it.
We're all.
It helps keep us going.
It does. I have to say.
Some days, to be honest with everyone, some days it gets difficult.
Yeah, it does. You can't.
You know, you just feel like the pressure is constantly is just getting, you know, that vice is being turned and turned and turned,
like
and it's always going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, you feel like the deck
Don't
is
you find that?
really stacked against you.
Yeah, the vice seems to be constantly turned in the wrong direction. Why is that? I don't know.
Not enough coffee.
More caffeine. Okay, so let me read out the super chat.
Yes, please.
This is from Sabertooth Brandy.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Sabertooth says, very first crochet project was a chevron blanket using your video pattern.
Yay!
So excited catching you live. Thank you both for all you do.
Well, welcome. Thanks for hanging out today. Thanks so much. I love that chevron pattern. I've been wanting to do. We've got a couple of chevron patterns. We've got we have 3 chevron patterns.
Oh, we have the scarf.
We have the scarf.
The original blanket is like from like 2015 or something.
Yeah, it's from back then.
Or 14, I don't know, but
and then we've got
that's a good one.
The baby starburst blanket or the baby
ripple
blanket.
Ripple
the round
one.
Ripple.
Yeah, the one that's like a star.
That's another technically
I guess it is a chevron.
That's a chevron. Oh, and we've also got the
which is a free pattern if anyone's interested on our website.
Yes, yeah, that'll perk you up if you haven't been
it's also
to
a free video.
Obviously, all the videos are free. If you haven't been to our website in a while, JaydaInStitches.com. And we've got a pattern workshop page. If you're on your mobile phone, when you get on the landing page, you'll see some like little like lines at the top of the page. Tap that, and that's the list of all the web pages associated with our website. And you want the pattern workshop page, and we've got more than 50 free patterns on that page. So if you're looking for something to do this weekend, and you've always kind of wanted to set around to collecting some patterns or maybe putting together a project journal, that's a great place to start. And I think pretty much every single one of those patterns has a video to go with it. So if you're still learning how to follow a pattern and you're maybe kind of like just dipping your toes into the crochet world, that's a great thing to do. You sort of run off a couple of patterns. We try to choose kind of a variety, some that are really, really basic and like just a couple rows, and some that are a little more complicated. There's a lot of blanket project patterns there so that you can sort of learn the stitch and then practice the stitch by making the whole blanket. And if you watch the video, you can sort of understand how the pattern is to be read. So that's a great place to start if you're trying to learn, since we all kind of learn at different speeds and we have all different learning kind of concepts. We all kind of learn differently. So some of us learn well visually, some of us learn well like kind of reading. So I like to combine as many of those different kind of forms of teaching as possible. So and also, free patterns. Just fill your boots.
Free patterns. We have at least 50 plus. Plus, there's more on the members page. There's got to be at least 60-ish.
Yeah. If you're a Silk and Vicuña member, we've got some over there too on the members only page.
Those are just the written ones.
Those are the written ones. Yeah.
Okay, so let me get to the super chats / new members.
Okay.
So a big welcome to Alex, who has joined our Merino level.
Hi, Alex. Welcome.
A big thank you to Anne, who has sent us a super chat.
Thank you, Anne.
And
does Anne have anything to say?
Yeah, Anne does. And a big thank you to Sakura Sue,
hey,
who
Sue.
has sent us a little super sticker.
Aww.
And it's the little lemon trumpeting their horn with the little baby lime trumpeting the mini horn.
Oh my gosh, that's adorable.
It's very cute. So Anne says, I started crocheting last year. The calendar blanket project has been phenomenal for keeping me engaged and growing my skills.
Marvelous. Thank you. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. That is why we do a lot of the calendar blankets that we do. This one is kind of similar to the Victorian stitch sampler we did a few years ago. And it's kind of just learning a bunch of different stitch types. I really love this calendar blanket because I love how fast you can kind of get through an edition. And then if you've got a lot of projects on the go, like most of us do, you can kind of put it down and go, okay, there, I'm done for this month. And oh, look at the progress. It looks so nice. And then you can pick it back up in a month and just quickly add the next stripe and then just get back to whatever you were doing. So, I mean, I feel like as hard as I try, I always have a pile of whips. It never fails.
Bell day.
That's a pretty little bell.
It's ding, 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 day. So we have a new Silk member.
Ding, ding, ding. Oh.
A big welcome to Veronica.
Hi, Veronica. Thank you for joining the family. That's Veronica. That made me think of something. Why did that make me think of something? I don't know. Veronica, I'll get back to you on that.
The comic book series?
I'm not sure.
What's that show you used to watch?
Riverdale?
Yeah, isn't that kind of?
Yeah, there's a Veronica in that. That's not what I was thinking.
No.
No.
Maybe I was saying Victoria because I read it wrong, but it's Veronica.
Oh, I'm not sure. It'll come back to me.
I threw you off.
My brain is.
I'm used to doing the Granny Square game and trying to trip you up.
Trying to trip me up. Yeah. Today I'm trying to see how fast I can go here.
I have to reset and refocus today.
You're
moving along.
I'm moving along. I'm going to try and do 38 rows. I figure that'll get me to about 28 inches.
I wonder, is anyone else making this little blanket along with Jayda today? Let us know in the chat.
No, do a poll. Do a poll.
A poll. Okay,
yeah.
Let's do a poll. What should the poll
First
be?
Poll of the day. Are you crocheting along with me?
Oh, that's an easy one.
Yes or no? We've got this new fun poll feature in the live chat that everybody can hang out and take part in. It's so much easier to click a button than it is to just sort of write a comment.
Poll is officially launched.
Oh, I love it. I'm going to stop and eyeball.
It's difficult for us, but we're gonna try to be a little more on the chill side today.
We're gonna try and chill.
Yeah. We need to help everyone calm down.
We want everybody
including ourselves.
We want to be able to sort of slide into the weekend in a cheerful mood.
We need our viewers to help us calm down. That's what we need.
True.
So if you have some words of wisdom or some haikus or something.
Yeah, I'm sure the first one would be Jayda, stop drinking coffee.
Yeah.
Lay off the caffeine. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 18, 20, 22, 24.
JC64.
Hey, JC! JC wrote us an amazing poem.
JC wrote us a wonderful poem. I don't have it here.
It's on your phone.
We'll have to get it.
I sent it to you.
You texted it to me, I think.
Because I was like, read this.
JC says, I'm currently using the folk art blanket pattern and creating a Christmas village.
Oh my god.
JC, you have to send us a photo.
Yes.
Send it through our Etsy shop.
Yes. I have to see that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I want to see that. It's nice to be back. Missed y'all.
Missed you too.
We're glad you're
back and feeling
safe
better.
And sound and feeling better. We're getting a lot of people saying that they've had some rough times. Yeah. But
this 16 months of confusion. I feel like the overriding. I feel like I oscillate between great ideas. Like I'm excited to do something with the crochet and the channel and everybody, and then I oscillate between that and wondering, if I should even bother. Oh, I did one too many.
So we also have a super chat from Cherry.
Hi,
Cherry says, "Good morning, Jayda and General G." So is it Cherry that has coined me as
General Goofiness?
General Goofiness.
I love that.
That is fantastic.
General Goofiness.
I'm gonna make a shirt.
General Goofiness with the epaulets and the whole thing.
It's gonna be ridiculously large,
Oh, with a huge pile of metals and stuff that don't make any sense.
The metals will be so big, they'll block my chin and stuff. Yeah.
And you look at it and then you look closely and you realize it's like a button and some ribbons.
Yeah, it's just gibberish.
It's just gibberish. Goofy.
Thank you so much, everyone. Appreciate
thank you guys.
That.
We hope that you can just sort of feel welcome to come and go today. Just relax and feel kind of like I don't know. This is the hangout. This is the cool den where everybody gets to hang out and do a little crochet, catch up with your projects.
Would you like to hear the poll results? There's 85 votes.
Yes.
Or do you want to wait a little bit?
Oh, do you want to hit 100? How do you want to do this?
Make sure you vote, guys, if you're in the chat, if you're able to. Those of you that are viewing on your big screen TVs or your game consoles, I don't think you can engage with the chat there.
I may run into a knot problem.
Yeah.
I may not.
Everyone's gonna think we put something in our coffee.
Just love.
Just love.
At least that's all I put in it. I don't know. Did you sneak something
I
into it?
almost dropped the bell into it earlier.
Ding ding. Little music in your coffee.
Okay, I'm gonna end the poll.
Okay.
Okay, another minute.
All right.
Let's see if we can get to 100 votes. We're almost there. We're almost there. Let's get to 100 votes.
And I'm going to count where I'm at too here. 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. I'm at row 32 on my first strip. I'm heading for 38. And then, I've already got it. I've already got the question for the next poll.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, we're at 101.
Perfect.
I'm ending the poll.
Thanks,
Here
guys.
we go. Oh, you're going to like this result.
Oh, okay. So read me the question again.
I ended the poll. How come it didn't pop up? Where are you? There it is. Okay, so the question was, are you crocheting along with Jayda today?
Yes.
51% say
All right.
no. 48% say yes.
Marvelous.
So almost 50-50.
Almost 50-50.
Yeah.
That is great. I'm glad to hear that everybody's just here to hang out.
Yeah, if you want
Whether you're
to
crocheting
sip your
or not.
drink and put your feet up and
Mm-hmm.
hang out, that's good too.
It's a hangout for the day.
If you are on a big screen or a console, you can turn the chat on.
Yes.
Like you can read the chat. You just can't engage with
yeah,
it.
you can't engage with it. Unless I know some of you kind of have your phone out too. So you can have the stream on your phone so you can sort of tap into the chat on your phone.
Everyone's doing something different.
The technophiles among us.
Yeah. Some people are cleaning their rooms. Some people are working on other things like dishcloths or blankets.
2, 3, 4, 3,
The
6.
cardigan.
One more seashell. The cardigan. This is great. I love. Sometimes I don't know about you guys.
Can you go over the 2 rounds again?
Can I go over the 2 rounds? Yep.
Asks Diane.
So this is the seashell stitch from our Mighty Mile a Minute calendar blanket. The first row is the extended V stitch. So that's a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, and then you end with a double crochet in the top of the turning chains. And the second row is the big fan. It's 5 double crochet into the middle of that extended V stitch, and then double crochet into the top of the turning chains. And I just finished my first strip. So this is the pattern for the first strip. I'm just gonna look at this pink. It goes from light pink to darker pink, back to light pink to this beautiful little beigey gray. So that's 38 rows. Excuse me. I'm obviously gonna block this when the whole thing's done, but I'm just going for like a 28 to 30 inch long blanket. And then I'm just going to make as many sort of rows as I like to get a width that I like. So I don't really have a super specific measurement in mind, but I know that little blankets are kind of nice because you can put them over car seats and prams and strollers and stuff like that. They don't always have to be a giant crib-sized baby blanket. So I like to make little ones because I find that those can be pretty helpful or handy, and they're easy for a little one to kind of pull around when they get a little bit bigger. So here's my next poll question.
Another poll. Yeah. Okay.
So should I make all of my stitch strips and border them later, or make them all and make them all complete one at a time? So I don't know how to word that. I guess you could.
I'm typing in.
Okay, because you can change the yes or the no to actual things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the question is, should I make them all, make a whole bunch of just plain strips without the border, or should I make them all complete? And because I'm going to join as you go, just like we are doing with the Mighty Mile a Minute calendar blanket. But I realized I could make a whole bunch of these strips and then border them and join as I go and kind of do all that separately. So I guess that's the question. Should I make them as they are, like a whole bunch, and then add the borders and join as you go? Or should I just complete each strip and join as I go all the way along? That's the question. I'm going to pause for a moment. This will be a lightning round.
All her
strips.
I've already got a typo in there. All of her stitch strips and border them now or later?
Yes.
That's what you meant.
Yeah. It's like
as you go, basically.
Yeah. So I guess the idea is I'm looking for efficiency and speed, because that's the whole point in today's little challenge.
Or border them later.
Pardon me.
That's what you meant.
Yes. So make them all complete and join as I go, or shall I make a bunch of strips and then border them and join as I go later? I hope that made sense.
I don't know. We're going to throw it out there and we'll see what happens.
And while I'm just going to undo some of this little bit of a knot. Oh, this isn't that bad.
So basically what you're saying is border as you go, the way you join as you go,
Yeah.
as opposed to just making the strip and then work on the borders later.
Yeah. So for example, the idea was to make a bunch of these plain. I'm still going to do the join as you go, but I thought I could whip up a whole bunch of these right now and then border them later. Or
votes are coming in.
I can complete each one as I go. Oh,
those are great colors.
I just love that. That is so pretty. Excuse me. It's so gravelly this morning. Excuse me. Sorry, guys.
You need more coffee. More coffee.
I'm starting to sound like an old lady. Clearing my throat every 5 seconds. My grandmother was always clearing her throat. I guess I'm like her. Okay, let's put a timer on this poll. So how many, let's get to like 50 votes.
Let's get to 50 votes. Oh, we're already at 82.
Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome. Okay, what is it?
Go team. We also
have.
have some in the chat.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah, so I'll quickly read out the chat.
Mhm.
We have a later, now, later,
Okay.
later,
Later has it.
ladder, later.
I'll ladder it. Sure.
Later, now. Okay, so that I would say that's more later.
Yeah.
And oddly, the poll, I'm going to end it now. I have to wait a minute
That's
for it
fine.
to come through.
I love this.
So the poll is
completely
55% now and 44% later.
Wow.
Now, if you were to add the chat, I would say that almost puts it right at the middle.
Almost comes at it. Okay.
So maybe we should roll a die.
Okay, let's do it. All right. So, well, that's 6 sides.
But 4 and up means
4 and up means
now.
I border each strip and join as I go, period.
Yeah.
And anything 3 and lower means that I just do a whole bunch of strips and then start bordering them
you
later.
ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Oh, hold on, that was bad. Let me get it at you. There we go.
5. Okay, what did we suggest for 5? Was that make a bunch? And
I don't know.
Join is like.
Let's ask everyone.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go back to the poll. The poll said do it now. So border them now, right? The poll basically said that even if we factor
Okay, let's go with the poll.
The poll.
The poll says now.
The poll says now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to add the border as I go. Okay. I think that's fair. All right. So I'm going to grab my border color and I'm going to border them. So as you guys know, if you're doing this sort of the MMAM along with me, I'm going to use the granny shell stitch pattern. So exactly the same thing. I'm going to join in the top right-hand corner space, chain 3, counts the double crochet, 2 more double crochet to finish off that shell. I'm going to hop over to the middle stitch of that 5 double crochet fan and work 3 double crochets into the top of it. There is no chaining between shells along the border.
So basically you're making a complete strip here.
Yeah, so I'm going to do the whole strip.
Just making the first section and
then I'm going to double crochet 3 times into the top left corner, chain 2 for a corner, and because I have no strip to join to yet, this is just working 3 double crochet into the edge of every single row all the way down, working 3 shells across the bottom when I get there, and then working 3 double crochet in the edge of each row. And of course, you're working around the post. So if you're doing this, you're working around the little double crochet or the chain 3 that's there. And this is the first this is the first row of border. So I have nothing to join it to. So that's kind of quick and easy. And because I did 38 rows, I will have 38 shells down each long side and 3 across the top. So however many rows you're doing, so let's say you're doing this too, or you're working on the Mighty Mile a Minute blanket along with us. In the Mighty Mile a Minute blanket, I'm doing 78 rows. And so that means I always have 78 shells down each long side. So that's an easy way to keep track of how many shells you should have. I love these kinds of patterns where you don't really have to think much. I like not having to actually, crochet into the edge of a stitch when I work a border. This is kind of a quick and dirty way to add a border to something.
Messy.
Yeah, and it's fast. I'm just doing double crochet, so I don't really have to look at what I'm doing, and I don't really have to think about it. I just know it's 3. It's funny too. Like I can.
So can I blindfold you right now?
Blindfold me
and then see how well you do.
I don't know if I could. Nah, I don't think so.
No.
No, I have to like.
Because you can't really.
I have to slow down.
You can't really feel.
I can feel, but I'd have to slow down. So I don't really want to slow down. The whole point of this is to be fast.
I'm looking for the blindfold.
Tries to wrap the pool noodle around my head.
The secret weapon.
I don't think that would work.
It's on a break today.
It's on a break. It's leaning in the corner,
taking a break,
sipping a coffee.
It's like leaning up against the wall, like having a coffee.
I love the double crochet stitch. I think that's another question I would like to ask everybody. Of all the basic stitches, single crochet, double crochet, treble crochet, even half double crochet, which is your favorite stitch? Which one do you feel like you can really do the fastest if you're working on a project or something? I like single crochet, but I feel like I'm actually faster when I do double crochet, and because it's just a little bit taller, I feel like I can count it faster. I can see it easier. I don't know. Is that just me?
Well, some people are writing in the chat double crochet, HDC.
Yes.
Double crochet. Double is coming up a lot.
It's a fast stitch.
Poll, says Jolene. That's it. We're doing a poll. Darn right.
I love the polls.
Okay, so it's going to be hard to do them all, though. So how am I going to say this?
Tall stitch or short stitch.
Okay.
So we'll assume that short stitches are single crochets and half double crochets, and tall stitches are double crochets and trebles. I do like trebles. I do. I know that they can be a bit annoying when you're dealing with like larger,
so we're going to say
yarn.
Tall stitch, which is, give me some examples.
Tall stitch is a double crochet or a treble crochet.
TC.
TR actually.
TR?
Yeah. DC and TR, treble.
Okay. And the other one was short stitch?
Short stitch. Single crochet, SC, or half double crochet, HDC.
So, SC, HDC. All right, everyone. Here comes another poll.
I love these. They're so much fun.
Pong.
Interaction.
We will see. For those of you that missed the last one, there's a new one up.
Excuse me.
Put your chores down. Forget the chores.
Yeah, forget your chores.
Forget laundry and dishes. Just leave everything. And
laundry does itself. Just throw it in the machine and walk away.
Do the poll. It's much more important.
The nice thing about having it on your phone is that if you're kind of wandering around the house sort of doing things, you can kind of have it with you.
KT asks, what are the dimensions of the blanket?
Well, I don't really have exact measurements in mind. I'm going with 38 rows of the stitch for each strip. And then once I add the border to it, I figure that's going to add at least 1 inch to either side. So my calculations are, after the whole thing is made and blocked, it will be at least 30 inches long. I don't know how wide I'm going to make it yet. I'm not really worried about that because I can just keep adding strips until I get to a width that I like, since I'm doing this as the Jones you go. But I do feel like 30 inches long is a nice length for a blanket because, as I said before, you can kind of drape it over them when they're, snoozing in their carriage or their car seat or something. You can also, they can drag it around a lot easier when they're a little bit larger and mobile. So I kind of look at baby blankets almost like they're comfort items or toys for the children once they get a little bit bigger. Because blankets are magical when you're little. They can be made into forts. They can be made into clothes. They can be wrapped around your head. You can hide under them. Yeah, they're great. They provide a little bit of comfort if you're on a long car ride or something. So I'm working my way up the other side now of the strip. I love adding the border because it always kind of stretches out the stitch pattern, and you can start to get an idea of how big it's going to be overall. I'm guessing this is going to be somewhere between 28 and 30 inches before blocking. How are we doing with the poll?
I'm going to check on it in a minute. Let's see. We've got 102 votes.
Yay! Wow, that was
So I'm
great.
going to close it up.
This is so fun.
Let's see what the tally is.
Let's see what the tally is.
It always takes a second to come through because our internet is very slow.
Yes.
Okay, so what is your fastest stitch pattern? A tall stitch, for example, DCTR.
Mm-hmm.
A short stitch, SCHDC. So the majority at 72%
Whoa!
is tall stitch.
Yes, bye.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like I can really motor through that double crochet, especially double crochet. And I'm going to attribute that to the thousands of granny squares I have made over the years, because it's just double crochets over and over and over again, especially kind of grouping them in threes. Nice and easy peasy. All right. Well, since we are I love these pulls. We're going to do another pull shortly. I'm just getting up sort of the second side of my first strip here with the border. I think it's good that I do them all completely because then I won't feel like the whole thing is overwhelming. Like I've made all these strips and now I've got to do all these boring borders or something. So I think this was the right choice to do, because now I can just create a strip, join it as I go, just like the big blanket we're making. But I thought we would do a silly question.
The poll? Bonnie asks, how do you get in the poll? It should pop up on your...
if you're looking at the live chat.
Yeah, if you're looking at the live chat where you just typed that in, I think it shows up at the top of the live chat and it looks like a blue color. You might have to click on, like, you'll see like a little blue bar.
You don't have one live right now, though.
No, I don't have one live. So maybe that's what Bonnie missed. There could be a delay in our stream.
Yes, entirely possible.
So,
well, we'll do another one shortly.
Yeah, we'll do another one, and watch the top of the chat screen. You should see it up there.
Yes.
So now we need to come up with another. Do you see the poll?
Do you see the poll?
I'm gonna do a new one.
Perfect. Can you see this?
So this is a test for Bonnie. Can you see this and read me?
So it should be 100% yes, because if you can't see it, but you still manage to click no.
Come on, someone click no. Where's Shell?
No.
Where's my little troll friend? He would click no for sure. Little bugger. The squirrels would click no.
Shell's been busy working on a little baby MMAM too.
Oh yeah, she sent us a photo. It looks good.
It looks great. All scraps. Scraps are the best.
All right, the new poll is up, Bonnie. Look at the top of the screen. See if you can see it up there. It even looks like it has a little animated, like almost like a wire that's kind of twisting, kind of just like slightly animated.
Oh, neat. I thought you said that it kind of counts in real time, like it kind of goes back and forth. Does it do
Yeah,
that?
it does, but there's this little dividing line that looks like it's moving. I think to help sort of see it.
Oh, that's neat.
Okay, the trolls have arrived.
I love it.
We have a little bit of trolling here. Can you see and read this? 8% say no.
I love it.
Oh, it's down to 7%.
Can you see and read this? No.
Have to okay, so this is from Laura. Laura says you have to rotate your phone from landscape to portrait to see the poll.
Okay.
So that's good to know.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you're in landscape, you won't see the poll. If you're in portrait, you will.
You will. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that with everyone.
We, like we said last live stream, the poll, we literally discovered the poll when we went live last time. So we're still learning the ins and outs of it.
We love it.
I think it's so much fun. All right.
It's
I'm going to
fantastic.
weave in my tail. I just finished my border. So
this is our biggest poll today.
Yay!
128 votes.
I've finished the border. So again, 3 double crochet around the edge of every single row. So that means I've got 38 shells up both sides. I've got 3 shells across the top and the bottom.
Yes.
I finished the whole thing by working 3 double crochet into the same space that I started in. Chain 2 for the corner. Join with a slip stitch to the top of that chain 3 that began. There's my first strip. And I'm just going to pull it out a little bit. So that's the first strip done on my new little baby blanket. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Pull out my corners.
I'm thinking of goofy polls now.
This is definitely 28 to 30 inches. So by the time I block
Look how
that,
fast you did that. And you're
I'm chilling.
I have to admit, I don't think you're going your fast.
I'm not.
I've seen you create fires.
I'm
I feel like you're moving along.
I'm moving
you're
along.
kind of in a chill.
I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
Yeah,
It's a Friday morning. I'm gonna speed up. Obviously, that was the first time I touched a hook all day. So here I go. I'm starting strip number 2. I start with a chain of 12, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right. Do you want to hear
10,
the poll
12,
results?
3, 4, 5, 6.
It's a very
7, 8.
important question.
Yep, I do. Read
Can
the question
you see
again.
and read me? I'm ending the poll. This is the most votes yet. So we've got an overwhelming yes at 92%. And an underwhelming no. However, very poignant.
Very poignant.
Poignant no at 7%.
So 70%.
So we have a handful of cheekies.
We've got some
we have some
trolls.
cheeky viewers out
Good.
there.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Mm-hmm.
Cheeky viewers. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Also, I just hit my
Are you
funny
okay?
bone.
Not funny. Funny for me. So
I never understood that. Funny bone? It's more like
it's because
agony and pain.
it's your humerus.
Oh.
But
But even that's like, what is that? That's funny. Humorous. Is that why it's called funny
well,
bone?
I laugh if I see somebody else go bong. Oh, that's gonna hurt. And then
I think I did put something in this coffee. Ooh, that's going to take a while to
I
come
hate
back
that.
to normal.
I
That's
hate
it.
that.
We need a poll.
Is banging your funny bone
Is
funny?
banging your funny bone funny or not?
Yeah, that's a poll. That's a poll we've got to do. Okay, no. Is somebody else banging their funny bone funny? Yes or no? We'll find out who all the empathic people are, who all the people who have a sadistic sense of humor are. I have a little story to share, actually, as soon as we're done with that poll.
All right. Making up goofy polls.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, we've got some shout outs to get to here.
Yeah, let's do some shout outs.
So let's see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anyone.
We're having so much fun with the polls.
Yep. I also am not, I can't see clearly right now because my funny bone's going off.
Oh, I hate
Okay, so Melissa, big thank you to Melissa
Hi,
for
Melissa.
sending a super chat. A big thank you for Jacqueline, who has joined our Alpaca level.
Hi, Jacqueline, welcome.
And a big thank you to Charlene,
Thanks,
who has
Charlene.
sent us a super chat.
Thank you.
And Charlene says, good morning. Glad to see you today. Can't miss breakfast, but I did the poll. Just joking. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you starting up another poll?
I did.
Okay, great.
It's already got
All right.
some votes.
So before we get to finishing that one, and while I'm undoing a little bit of a knot here, I have a little story to share. So in keeping with... Oh, no,
We have the best viewers.
we do.
I'm creating trollable polls. And some people are taking advantage of that.
This is how you know what kind of a sense of humor you have when you grow up. So I think some of you will remember the show Laugh-In. I never really got to see it live because I'm a little younger, but I have seen the odd little rerun or replay, or now of course you can see those sketches on the internet.
We got to read out JC's poll. You want to grab your phone and read it out?
It's
So JC sent us a super chat, and it reminded me of her poem from earlier.
Thanks, JC.
So JC says, Mr. InStitches is the general. He's handsome, lean, and mean. Boy, she got that one right. He may outrank the rest of us, but Jayda is still the queen.
Oh,
Boom!
thanks, JC.
That's a mic drop right there.
That's a phone drop.
That's a phone drop. That's a laptop drop.
Oh, I love it. Thanks, JC.
Phone drop. That's a smartphone drop and shatter.
That's a busted screen right there. Oh my gosh.
That is a cracked screen for sure.
Okay, so getting back to my little thing, and all of you who remember Laugh-In and the silly little antics they would get into, when I was young, it was explained to me that people have different senses of humor. So different stuff sets us off. Well, I think we all kind of have like varying degrees of the same sense of humor. So it starts with like, you know, everybody when they're little likes bathroom humor. And usually you continue liking that the older you get. Some of us are a little like, no, that's not appropriate. I don't like it. But everybody's got a different sort of sense of humor. The hardest I ever laughed in my life, I was 11 years old. And the reason I remember this is because I laughed so hard. Like I couldn't recover for like half an hour. We had friends visiting and they had children and they had a daughter about my age. She was a couple years older and she's wonderful and I love her, but she was older than me. And so, you know, a 12-year-old to a 10-year-old, the 12-year-old kind of takes over the play session and they're the one kind of running the things. And we decided we would try and go watch television. So we were upstairs in my bedroom and the TV, we only had one at the time, was all the way downstairs, past the room where the adults were sitting and all the way around sort of in the family room. So we would have to have snuck down the stairs, which had a little bit of a curve to them, snuck past the main room where all the adults were sitting, and then snuck into the family room. Now, it's not like we couldn't go watch TV, but we thought it would be fun to see if we could sneak all the way down the stairs, past the adults and into the room without being seen. I mean, we were children, right? So we had this elaborate plan. She went on for what felt like an hour describing how we would open the bedroom door and how we would sneak across the top of the landing and how we would avoid the top step and how we would sneak down we would hug the wall. And she just went on and on and on and on. And I was totally on board. We were going to do this. Right at the bottom of the stairs is where the room was, where the adults were. So we worked on this gigantic plan. We figured it out. We opened up my door. We snuck to the top of the stairs. She said, I'm going to go first. She turned around and she went, shh, and then slipped. And she went tail end over tea kettle all the way down the stairs. Because the stairs turned a bit, she hit the wall like 5 times. She was tumbling. She was smacking into stuff. She was squealing. She made so much noise. I'm still thinking about it now. She made the whole house shook. She made so much calamity that every single adult got up and came up the stairs, and all the other kids in the house came to the top of the stairs. And she was lying there in this heap at the bottom of the stairs, and she goes, I'm fine. And her mom says, what are you doing? Are you okay? She goes, I was trying to sneak.
Trying to sneak down the stairs?
I literally collapsed at the top of the stairs because the build up to this event had been the whole night, and then she completely blew it. Anyway, I to this day,
that would be labeled as an epic fail.
It was an epic fail. Yeah. Yes. So early epic fail in my life.
Yeah.
And she was fine, obviously. Kids can roll down the stairs and they're okay. Yeah. But what a tremendous, and she was
probably carpeted.
She was tall for 12 too. She had beautiful long legs and arms. She was just so discombobulated, and she just oh yeah, it was carpeted. So she was fine, but my God, did she make a gigantic amount of noise. It was hilarious. So that kind of humor, that kind of stuff cracks me up. As long as no one's hurt, but that kind of slapstick humor, that's slapstick humor. Yeah, like Three Stooges and
Three Stooges and what's the
Charlie
one
Chaplin.
We love from England. John Cleese.
Oh, even
what's the one from
Keeping
here?
Up Appearances.
Oh, that is good. Oh yeah, that's someone else though. That's hilarious.
That is isn't. I love her so
who's
much.
The one from Canada that we love so much? He did he's always like a cop, but he's really terrible. The silver-haired guy.
Oh, Leslie Nielsen. Yes. Oh my goodness.
And the Pink Panther guy.
And Clouseau. Yes.
Stuff's hilarious.
Did you hear that? No, I did not hear anything. You did not hear. Please stop the car, please. For the
so I'm gonna double shout out Melissa because she missed our shout out. A big thank you to Melissa for sending us a super chat.
Thank you, Melissa.
Sometimes there's like little glitches and delays in the stream, and
you'll see it jump too sometimes.
Yeah. So
thank you.
hopefully our internet will be improving this year.
Yes,
we have
we're
our
hoping.
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I took a break to tell a story, so now I have to like double down.
Oh, someone was asking if you could repeat like the pattern you're using. Like I can't remember what the exact question was, but I guess for making it along, we had these little cards that we had set up on the other computer, and we were going to have them playing for everyone in the corner,
regularly playing,
and it worked on our other computer. And then when we tried to set it up on this computer, it didn't work, so it kind of threw us off.
Squirrels, always with the squirrels. I'm using the seashell stitch. This is the Mighty Mile a Minute calendar blanket seashell stitch that I'm using. It's the one we just did last week, so it should be fresh in everybody's mind. Excuse me. It is a 2-row repeater. So the first row is an extended V-stitch, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, all worked into the 8th chain from the hook if you're just starting, or into the middle stitch of the 5 double crochet fan from the row before. And the even row, row 2, is a chain 3, 5 double crochet in the middle of the extended V-stitch, and then double crochet. So all rows begin with the chain 3 that counts as double crochet. All rows end with a double crochet in the top of the turning chains from the previous row. And this is why I love this stitch, because it is lightning quick. I'm doing around 38 rows for my little strips because I did some fiddling. I'm dealing with a slightly smaller hook than the one I'm using for the main blanket. So this is just a half size smaller. It's a 5 millimeter. But of course, you know, you can use any hook you want if you're making a baby blanket. But I kind of like this size, and I chose a size 4 yarn that's a little thinner than the yarn, the size 4 I'm using for the Mighty Mile a Minute calendar blanket. It's considered a 4, but it doesn't really. This one's a 4, the other one's a 3, and they're both the same weight. So the categories don't always. I feel like yarns end up in categories that they don't always belong in. Ding. Ooh, I've hit that pretty orange. This makes me think of a creamsicle.
We have another super chat, and I have closed our poll.
Ooh, okay, goody.
So let's start with Donna's super chat. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Donna.
Donna says, appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out with us all.
Thank you for hanging out with us. We're the ones hosting the goofy little drop-in party here, I hope, with General Goofiness himself.
The official general.
The official general of Goofiness.
The official General G is
decorated in I guess this, you do battle with me every day. So
pretty much. I have some battle scars.
You've earned those medals. You've earned those buttons and ribbons.
I've earned the Cabbage Patch Kid button and all the childhood stuff.
That would be so cute.
So
a Cabbage Patch
you want to hear the poll?
Yes.
So
yes.
our General Goofy poll was:
yes.
Do you think the Funny Bone name makes sense? So 48% vote yes, 36% vote no, and 14% need to think about it.
Oh, you did 3. I like that. You need to think about it.
Well, wait till you smack it one day and then think about it.
Yeah.
And see what
see how clearly you can think about it. Oh boy. That is such a funny thing too. I know that it's like I know it has something to do with like a sort of a nerve being exposed, because if you watch boxing,
it's kind of like when your leg falls asleep.
Yeah,
it kind of feels like that instant, but it's instant.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Pins and needles can hurt, but not like smacking your funny bone. I'm thinking about. I like to watch boxing. Little known fact about me, I enjoy boxing. If you see someone get punched on the jaw, that'll knock them right out.
It depends where,
because there's a little exposed nerve that just like
it's like the funny bone.
Yeah, and it'll just boom. Now, if you I used to be in karate for quite a while. This is another thing I know from sparring.
That's where my battle scars come from, everybody.
If you kick your opponent properly in the kidney, so kidney shots are dangerous, but a kidney, if you get kicked in the kidney, you'll have about 60 seconds before the shock wave gets out of the kidney, maybe a little less depending on your size, and just brings you to your knees. You'll know, oh no, I've been hitting the kidneys, and you'll be fine until you just your legs give out from underneath you.
Oh wow.
But you have a warning. So
that's freaky.
So get out of the ring.
That's why when they practice, they wear those belts here.
Yeah, yeah, and they cover all of their important organs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might sneakily share all your karate photos
Oh
with
my-
everybody.
Please don't. Nobody wants to see me.
Come on.
Nobody wants to see my gur face.
We'll surprise everybody. This is Jayda Crochet, and this is Jayda destroying someone on the mat.
I know I might seem nice, but I'm actually.
She seems sweet,
I
guys.
seem
She
sweet.
seems sweet and adorable, but oh boy.
I've always loved karate. It's
Where do you think these medals
I
came
got
from?
started when I was really young.
These are survivor medals here.
The Cabbage Patch Kid medals. It's your favorite one.
Oh my goodness.
All right, I'm gonna have to take a second and count up how many shells I've done so far. So I'm on strip number 2, and I just love this. I really like this yarn. It is so pretty. Now my first strip was a lot of like pinks and a bit of gray, and this one's mostly orange.
I'm going to read out a question from Cheryl.
Sure.
Cheryl asks, if you made a blanket using the seashell stitch, but not using strips, what would the stitch multiple be?
Let's see. It is any multiple of 4. Let me think. Any multiple of 4 plus 7. Any multiple of 4 plus 7, and start in the 8th chain from the hook. And then the first row is just the extended V stitches. So double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the 8th chain from the hook. No chaining in between motifs. Skip 3 stitches, extended V stitch in the next stitch, skip 3 stitches, extended V stitch in the next stitch, all the way across, and you should end with a double crochet in the last chain. So you'll have a whole bunch of like V stitches, extended V stitches, and a double crochet. Same thing, every row starts with a double crochet, with a chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then it's super clear past that. You just work a 5 double crochet fan in every single one of those extended V stitches, and double crochet in the top of the turning chains. And there you go. You can just go nuts with that. You can make it as wide as you need to. It's such a pretty stitch. In fact,
I have a new pull for everyone. Has nothing to do with crochet.
If you want to see this stitch style in motion or in use on a larger project, you can check out our Festive Table Runner. We have a tutorial on that, and it uses this seashell stitch, and it's just and it should explain a little bit more about the counts and stuff in the description box of that video. So Festive Table Runner. And if you really want to up your stitch game, we made matching festive table napkin holders to match the stitch, but we made them in size 10 crochet thread. So basically a lace version of that pattern. And they're one of my favorites. They're really, really fancy. I have a lovely red tablecloth with matching napkins that my grandmother gave me. And so I did the runner in white, and I did the matching napkin holders in white. And it just looks so Christmassy. I love it. And I never even counted up how many shells I've gotten. I did all that. Stop the talk. Look how easily distracted I get. I'm going to finish this one. I'm going to count them up. Oh, I just love this. I love this. Okay. Excuse me. Ooh, this is one long. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38. Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Without even really counting. I did 38 on the button. Whee! Snip. Fastening off. I will. I'm going to do the joining as you go. So here's strip number 1, and I will join to it. Just like we do with the calendar blanket. So I'm going to start.
Throwing a random poll up.
Love
Random poll time.
Random poll time.
My coffee's ran out.
Did it? Is there more downstairs?
Well,
This is my second.
I think
cup.
I've had 1.5
Have you
cups.
1.5? See,
or have I had 2?
our cups are kind of large, so the 1 cup is actually.
We always
like
always end up with, we do a full pot. We end up with 2.5
2.5
in quotes each,
Yes,
and then we always have like an epic battle over the last half. Who got more? Who got less?
It's true.
If someone stole it. Hey, I thought there was a half cup in here.
Yeah, I don't know. Drip, drip, drip. All right, just for anybody who's not familiar with it, I'm going to talk my way through the join as you go, just briefly. Most of you know what I'm doing here.
I did a quasi-trolling question.
I like the quotes.
Okay, you want to hear it?
Yes, I do.
All right, Jada, here we go.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with crochet at
I
all.
love it. Okay.
Have you seen the new Godzilla movie?
Oh,
And is it good?
that's a general goofiness.
That is general goofiness in his
now
prime.
new Godzilla, like
When I
year?
say new, I mean the one that came out like inside of this year.
Is that the
and
one
I think
that has
it's like
King
it's
Kong in it?
rentable or yeah. I don't know.
Does it? I don't remember.
All I know is it's like it's streamable now.
Is it?
Yeah.
And why haven't we seen it?
Because they want you to buy it, and we didn't want to buy it. We wanted to rent it.
We want to rent it. So,
So
we're waiting to rent it.
we were waiting.
Got it. I love Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
I love monster movies. I love that stuff. It cracks
So
me
you
up.
want to hear the answer?
Yes, I want to hear the answer.
So, the questions are: seen it, it's great.
Oh, okay.
Seen it, it's terrible.
It's meh.
Seen it, it's meh. And haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. Okay.
So this is interesting.
This is great.
I'm legit interested here. You're not going to believe this. So out of 108 votes,
Sweet. Good group.
88% have not seen it.
We've got a group that is not into monster movies. You know what? I have to say, this is a weird time for movies too.
Or movies in general.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, how many
the
movies have we
last
seen?
2 decades?
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
If it's not on Netflix,
Movies have just gone way down.
So 88% haven't seen it.
88.
Because I mean, we're in that group. We haven't seen it.
We enjoy the odd,
I love monster movies.
crazy over the top monster
them.
movie.
Love them. I just think they're so funny.
Okay, so 9% seen it. It's great.
Okay.
0 say it's terrible.
Okay.
Seen it. It's meh.
It's meh.
3%.
3%.
But a total of 88% say they haven't seen it. Interesting. Thanks for sharing, everyone.
Yeah, thanks. I love this. Is fun. Okay, before you start another
So
poll,
now I'm in the same place.
No.
I don't know if I should bother renting it or not.
Before you start another poll, I'm going to just talk my way quickly through the join as you go here for everybody. And if you want to go take the rest of the coffee, you're more than welcome to. I've got water here. So.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Being a general has its privileges.
All right. So, for those of you doing the MMAM along with us, this will seem very familiar to you, but it might be kind of fun to see it from kind of a reverse angle. So I'm showing you what I'm doing. I've worked my 3 shells across the top of my second strip, and this is exactly how it's going to run for the rest of the strips in this join as you go process. So the border doesn't change. I'm going to chain 1 to start my corners. There are 4 of them. They all have 2 chains in them because the chain 1, chain 2 helps you turn a nice 90-degree angle. Chain 1 to start. Pick up your other strip, and of course you want to find, you're looking at the front of it, and you want to find the top right corner. You can slip your hook in from the top or the bottom. I go with the bottom. Doesn't really matter. Just be consistent all the way down because that will allow the looping of your join to kind of look the same. Slip stitch through the space. Nothing fancy. Chain 1 to complete the corner, and then into the same space, you're going to work the rest of that sort of shell or the first shell down the long side, however you want to look at it. So shell, chain 2 shell in the corner space, but the chain 2 is interrupted by the join, and this is great. I can show you guys. So there is strip number 1. There's my 3 little shells. There's the corner space, and I have started over here, worked over there, chained 1, joined with a slip stitch in that corner space, chained another, finished with a shell in the same corner space. So now I'm going to work down the long edge. Same thing as the other square, 3 double crochet in each row edge, but in between every single shell, I'm slip stitching in between the shells, those 3 double crochet sets of the other stitch. So my 3 double crochet to finish the square corner is done. So before I move on, I slip my hook. So if you look at it this way, I'm slipping my hook through the space between shells on the opposite side. Obviously, if you want to see this in better detail, it's in all 6 of our Mighty Mile a Minute stitch guides so far in the tutorials we've done, because we're using the same join as you go border for every single one of them. And then you're not chaining in between shells. You're just working 3 double crochet into the edge of each row. And when I'm just doing this quickly on my own, I kind of work sideways. So I hold the blanket strips sideways. I try to show it from a sort of a top-down view, an upright view, a little bit from a sideways view in the tutorial, just so you can sort of see how it should look every single time you finish a shell. But when I'm just zipping along, I sort of work sideways. I find that, I guess it's easier, maybe it's faster. And it allows me to kind of keep just a general tension. Nothing difficult. I don't try not to be too tight. I try not to be too loose. And then I also just make sure I'm not missing any of those spaces, those row edges. So I'm working around the posts all the way down, and that's it. And I've got 38 rows, so I'll have 38 shells all the way down the same, both sides. Oh, and he's back with his yummy coffee.
I did get almost a full cup.
Oh,
so you had a half there, but now it's been stolen.
It's been stolen. That's okay. I think I might have an iced coffee later.
Oh, by the way, tell everyone we used their recipes
yes,
from last
everybody
time,
was...
and the coffee was amazing. The iced coffee.
So we asked last live stream, we were talking about iced coffees. We asked if anybody had any iced coffee recipes. Several of you shared your iced coffee recipes. Thank you, because they all looked absolutely scrumptious. So based on what everybody was saying, we kind of hit up the cupboards here and we figured out, we came up with one. It's very, very basic, based on what we had available to us. I've got some, I guess we had a little jar of instant Tim Hortons decaf. So it's the instant type, which I like because it'll kind of disintegrate in the liquid. So I didn't have to actually brew a cup of coffee, which is great because it's been really hot here the last few days, and not having to turn on a hot appliance was wonderful. So I used a heaping teaspoon of that, and somebody made a joke about it being decaf and saying, "Is this a sign that you need some help?" And I have to say, if I have caffeine after lunch, I don't sleep. So a little bit of decaf is okay. It tastes just great as far as I'm concerned.
That Tim Hortons decaf coffee that comes in a little glass jar, that stuff's amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. And I love that it comes in a glass jar,
yeah,
not a plastic one. So that heaping teaspoon of that, 2 level teaspoons of sugar, because why not?
Stephanie vouches for Godzilla versus Kong.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw Godzilla versus Kong, didn't we? I feel like
we saw
Kong,
the one. I think the Kong is the new one, and the one with that like big, huge dragony thing with the 3 heads and it looks like a flying.
Yeah.
That was the second one we saw.
Is that the second one?
Yeah.
I feel like they're coming out.
Well, we'll probably rent it, but I'm not. I don't want to pay. They want like $25 or $30 right now to quote unquote buy it,
to stream it, basically.
Yeah. So.
No.
I mean, it's cheaper than a theater, but
yeah,
you're not getting the theater experience, are you?
You're not. You're not. Big sound. What is it they always say?
Big sigh.
Big sound.
Another
big screen,
crank of the vice.
Big screen, big sound.
Another turn of the vice.
I miss movies. I miss going to the movies. I like that. Big jug of popcorn.
Yeah. Oh, movie theater popcorn, the best.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything while I was down. Oh, we got a super chat.
Oh.
Aha. I found you.
Good thing you can go backwards.
This is from Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. Hi, Jacqueline.
Jacqueline writes, I didn't know to laugh or cry. That's how bad I banged my funny bone with a hammer while I was helping to remodel the kitchen. Oh, man, that must have been brutal.
How did you do that?
Ooh. Yeah, laugh or cry. I know the feeling.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that sounds bad. Well, you're okay because you were able to send us a super chat and a note.
But you don't know how long it took her to type it out. She could have been going.
It could have taken her like a month. Or she's been typing since we started streaming an hour and 8 minutes ago. She
figured out pretty quickly we were going to talk about hitting our funny bones, and she's like, I've got this story.
I've got a story to tell. Oh man.
That's
Well, we totally understand. I smacked it on a chair. The chair I'm on has these little armrests, and that's how I smacked mine.
Did you hit the corner of the
Now, thankfully, I didn't get it like really like square on,
yeah.
So it only lasted like 10 seconds. But I've had it real good before.
Oh yeah,
where it'll last like a minute.
I've hit it on the corner. Like I've hit it right in the thing on the corner of something,
Jesus.
and you're just like, I have to go lie down.
But you know what? The funny bone is bad. But you know what the worst is? This is my opinion.
Your
Everyone,
opinion?
new poll.
New
There's
poll.
a new poll. When you like whatever you're doing, you pivot, you turn, you take a big step. When you're like
and
big
you step on a rake and you get it.
No,
right
not that. When you stub your baby toe perfectly.
Yeah, you pull it.
Like it's on like a solid wall.
Yes.
It's square on. You can see the like cartoonist like accordion, you know, like you can feel it like crunching in like 800 places. To me, that's worse.
That's
and then
brutal.
you're like instantly on your back and on the floor holding your foot. Has anyone done that, or is that just me? And that's when you're like rolling around crying for 3 days.
I think I can one better that one. When I don't crush my baby toe into things directly. I tend to catch it on stuff.
Yeah, and you're seeing stars, exactly.
It's when I catch the toe is pulled out and it takes off the nail. Y'all done that?
Oh!
That one just, I'm like, okay, clear my schedule.
Yeah, that's a write-off for sure.
Oh my gosh. And then you're afraid to look. You're like, oh no, what did I do to it? What did I do to it? Yeah. Oh, poor little baby toes.
Peggy writes, I banged my baby toe 4 weeks ago and it's still sore.
It's still sore.
Yep.
The baby toe is the cutest little toe, and we're so mean to it.
It's the most adorable toe in the world.
It's so cute.
It's like the chibi toe.
It's the chibi toe. Yes. Baby toes it's the chibi toe of the toe family. And it's you totally ignore it until you hit it.
Thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie's checked on that price. So it's still being listed at a premium at $29.99.
I guess that would
and I think that's US dollars.
That would be across platforms, I would assume.
Yeah. So now we're gonna wait it out.
We wait. We can wait.
I mean, I have no problem renting. You can rent movies anywhere now. You can do it on Google Play. You can do it on your PlayStation, your Xbox.
Yeah.
Amazon now rents movies.
Yeah, Amazon rents them. Yeah, there's a lot of different places. Yeah, I'm sure there's way more options in the States.
If that's because you like really want to watch something new, because the streaming services are just bloated with
they're full of stuff.
Watch.
What did we just finish watching? We're watching. I like watching cartoon. Okay, we're still watching we're still working our way through SpongeBob.
Yeah, we always kind of bounce around SpongeBob. We watch a lot. We just finished a few documentary series. We like those. Mm-hmm. Just anything. Any documentary, we love it.
Yeah, I love documentaries.
What else? We started watching that Close Enough show. That's pretty funny.
That's a cute cartoon on Netflix. Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's good for young people. It's more of an adult.
It's definitely it's kind of a young adult. I guess it would be a young adult
like
video.
A teen.
Well, no, not teens. It's just like it's. I think they're supposed to be a young millennial couple with a daughter, and that's that kind of like, and it's kind of a hyperbolic view of trying to be. Trying to raise a child, in the city and not have a lot of money. Yeah. And it's really cute. And it's a little bit silly.
I think it's fine. It's safe for kids.
Oh, there's no bad language.
There's no bad stuff. No. But it does seem to be aimed a little more towards
it's definitely aimed
young adults.
Yeah, young adults. But if you're ever, obviously if you're ever in, if you want to sit down and watch something, you're not sure if it's going to be the kids, always preview it first.
Kind of,
you got
not everyone likes the cartoons.
I like cartoons. They make me laugh. Now, did I skip something? I feel like I may have skipped. Oh, look what I did. Look what I did. Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to show you guys. Oh. I've been zipping along. Can you see this big space here? I forgot to join, and then I did another shell, and now I have a pucker. I'm like, so gotta take it out. Gotta take it out.
So, would you mind doing a video on what you just explained?
Yeah, we've got them.
So which video would be?
So if we're talking about the join as you go, this is what I'm doing right now. All 6 of our Mighty Mile a Minute calendar blanket stitches that we've been doing so far this year. In particular, this is the seashell. We just did that on Friday. all of it's in that video. So if you want to see it better, you can check that out. And all of those, I know a lot of you who are doing this know this, but all of those stitches can be used on their own to make an entire blanket. You can mix and match all of them. We're obviously doing one blacking with all of the stitches so that it's kind of a fun way to get used to different stitches. But that is the whole point of the project. There, fixed my little error. I just love this stitch so much. I got thinking it would be fun to see how fast, really, I could work on a blanket and chat with everybody and sort of goof around. I'm kind of curious at how fast it can go, especially if I'm not kind of stopping every few minutes to like film something or write something down. So this is the pattern. This is the stitch tutorial that we did on last Friday, but instead of 78 rows, I'm doing 38. Everything else is the same though.
So Heather's talking about, I guess going back to when we were talking about comedians, and Heather asks, have you ever seen the comedian Benny Hill? The answer is a resounding absolutely.
I know.
Do you remember Benny Hill?
I know the intro music. Yeah. That's all I know about Benny Hill.
He was always smacking the little bald guy, like, getting him to do stuff.
I never saw the show.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of this.
That was
but I know the tune.
Very like slapstick, funny.
It was also kind of risque when you look back, right? There were a lot of like ladies in bikinis and
a little
stuff
bit
running around.
Yeah,
it was the 70s, right?
It was. I think Benny Hill was from the 70s. Yeah, and then you could still watch the shows would repeat in the 80s.
Yeah, I don't think I ever.
I think he was British.
Yes.
And we considered his show hilarious. My dad loved it. And one of the reasons Benny Hill was so successful with his comedy is because there was no words.
It was all,
it's kind of like Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
It was all done through,
Mr.
skits and camera cuts and
I get it.
Action.
Yes. I seem to remember, I don't know. I seem to remember something to do with a cliff or falling off a cliff or being on a beach and falling off a cliff.
Oh, they would always throw dolls off of cliffs and stuff.
Yeah.
Very funny. So yes, we know Benny Hill. I don't even know if you can still see his show. Like,
I'm sure.
I guess you could buy it on DVD.
You might be able to.
But I don't think I've seen it on any streaming services.
Well, if you're watching from the UK, any of you, do you know if that's available on some old BBC reel?
Yeah. If you're in the UK,
is it available on UK Netflix or is there a way to stream it there?
Let's find out.
I'm curious.
You guys over across the pond shouldn't be in bed yet.
Yeah, not
it's
quite
not
yet.
that late yet.
Should be.
Try YouTube. Yeah, you might be able to catch like clips and stuff.
Probably. I would think
YouTube,
the odd sketch should be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops. Did I do my chain? Nope. Chain one for the corner, then join in the corner, then chain one.
I'm being trolled by Summer. Summer says, Mr. InStitches, you missed me telling you to respect King Ghidorah. That's the name of the three-headed dragon from Godzilla.
Ooh.
He's my favorite Godzilla monster. So do I have that right? Is the Ghidorah guy with three-headed lizardy dragon thing, is that from the second movie? Because I know we've seen the first and second, but I can't remember what the monsters were.
Okay.
We saw the first one in the theaters, and it was okay. It was mediocre.
There was a Godzilla
second one was a little better.
There was the one, all the activity is
everything
happening
is
off
happening
screen.
off
It was
camera.
That one.
You wouldn't believe your eyes. There is so much happening off camera.
That was the one that had the big thing with the long legs, right?
It looked like an insect.
Yeah. So I don't know which one that was, but I remember that was 2012-ish, somewhere back there. Oh, it's going
back, yeah.
So that was that one. Then there was I feel like we saw another one.
Oh my goodness. Cameron says Benny Hill's first show aired in 1955.
Whoa. Okay.
So he started out black and white, I think, because wasn't TV black and white in the mid-50s?
A lot of people still had black and white TVs. I know we did. We had a black and white TV until the 80s.
Oh my God! What planet were you living on?
Planet Canada.
Planet prairies.
The planet. Why spend the extra money when you can dump it into the mortgage? Yeah, we had a black and white TV for quite a while.
I remember
it was
black
a tiny
and white.
little one.
I remember seeing a black and white TV at my grandparents, and then I remember when they got a color one.
Yeah,
that was very like. Whoa.
To be fair, we had a color one when I was really little. I just that we also had a black and white one that was small and portable, and that one I used to love that one because it was so tiny.
Yeah. That would probably sell for $1 million on eBay now.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Everyone seems to be obsessed with nostalgia and old stuff right now.
Well, yeah. Happier times.
People are fighting each other in Walmart aisles for Pokemon cards, and there's some crazy stuff going on.
It's just zany. So I got a bit of a setback because I skipped a join.
Butterfly Dolphin Crochet says we get it for free on Amazon Prime here in the UK.
Okay.
So Amazon Prime is running it, so we should check.
Yes, we should.
We might get it too.
Well, if it's in the UK, if that's in the UK, we might be able to get it through. I don't know if maybe Amazon runs an old BBC Classics or something.
Well, I know that they kind of mix it up depending on the country, but we should check. We have the video service.
I feel like we get a decent amount of BBC stuff
we do.
here because we're in Canada. I don't know. If you're in the States, do you guys get much UK? Obviously the megas like Downton Abbey and everything, but like the old. I would love to watch Joking Apart from start to finish. That was I only saw a handful of episodes of that when I was a lot younger, but it made me laugh so hard.
I saw those shows come and go from Netflix over the years, but I don't really see them anymore. So I don't know if they've been moved over to another streaming service, or they're not showing up on our. I think
they kind of come and go with some of them are active.
Yeah, they get contract deals 6 months we'll have this series, and then it kind of goes away.
Yeah.
But you gotta remember, and then you gotta go search.
Then you gotta go looking for it. Yeah.
So I'm gonna call out some super chats here. Super chats.
Super chats.
All right. So let's see. So this is a super sticker or a super chat. I'm not sure. I think it's a super chat without a
message.
Without a message, but it is from Nicola. Thank you to Nicola for that.
Nicola.
And Mall E
hi.
has sent us a super chat.
I thought you were on vacation, my lovely.
Thank you, Jayda and Mr.
It's been a week already.
And Mr. InStitches for all you are doing. It is late, but I celebrated my 76th birthday on June 1st.
Oh my gosh, happy birthday!
Well, happy birthday!
Wow.
That's a week ago. Is that why you went on vacation? Because it was your birthday?
I think that would be the right thing to do. Go take a vacation.
Mama InStitches recently celebrated her birthday.
Yeah.
Her 69th
birthday.
So if anyone wants to wish her a happy birthday, belated, Molly and Mama InStitches, and that passed.
Birthdays are kind of a weird thing to celebrate right now.
Now, it's celebrate in quotes. It's you need triple quotes.
To be perfectly fair, I'd say that people who have family in different countries would have done virtual celebrations before anyway. They would have remember the Christmas we Skyped with your nonna in Italy, and that was so great. It was the first time we were live with Nonna at the same time.
It was really cute. You want to tell the story how she thought she was watching a video?
Yeah, it was so cute. Nonna was.
So they were at one of their beautiful villas overlooking the mountains.
A huge family, may I say.
Having their stone baked pizzas and Kaisers.
Yes.
And, one of those parties.
One of those lovely things. That's how you Christmas.
And one of my cousins was roaming around with a laptop that I guess was connected to Wi-Fi.
They had just gotten Wi-Fi.
Yes, so they were really excited that they could run.
They had Skype. This was back when it was still really new. So the Wi-Fi was mobile. Skype was new, and we all kind of connected. And
so they were walking.
They were carrying this laptop around. And everybody was sort of like, eating pizza and waving and, and cheers, cheers. And so the younger crew kind of understood what was going on. But he took it over to Nonna, who was sort of sitting in her chair, with her big, thick glasses on. And we were all waving at her, and she was like, "Oh, this is cute." And she kind of thought it was a video.
She thought it was a video.
And then I think your dad was like, "No, Mama,
No,
like we're here right now." And she started to cry. It was so sweet. Oh my gosh.
She started to cry.
It was too much for her. It was so emotional. I mean, oh my gosh.
That was sweet.
That was so sweet. No, it was Christmas.
Oh, it was Christmas.
It was Christmas.
Yeah. I remember.
I know. Well, there's no snow.
Oh,
over there.
thank you everyone for wishing Molly and Mama InStitches a happy birthday. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. This I've decided this was a good choice. This is going to be a very pretty baby blanket.
Oh, you're rocketing along.
I'm almost done strip number 2. So I've had a little setback, but I think I'm gradually getting a little faster here. It's always faster up the side where you don't have to actually join.
You want to show everyone your... I'm going to zoom in on you.
Let me just finish this. So chain 2 for the corner and join. You're very funny. Okay.
What do you think of my zooming mechanics?
Very good.
Pretty good.
Sounds just like it.
There we go.
So there we go.
Show everyone
strip 1 and strip 2. And I'll just hold it.
Yeah, hold it right up to the camera.
Can you see that?
There we go.
That's so pretty. And I'll just drop it so you can see sort of the variation in the shades.
That looks really good.
This is really pretty.
Mm-hmm. I like the gray.
I love that
Or
gray.
That's not gray.
It's kind of beige.
Gray. It looks like gray in camera, but it's more of a beige.
It's sort of a gentle beige gray.
Sand, a light sand.
And of course, there's white running through the entire thing. So, this is pretty. Okay, yep. So there's strip number 1 and strip number 2 done. So I'm going to just put that to the side and start strip number 3.
We're really high tech here.
Mm-hmm. All right, before you get to anything else, so the conversation sort of goes careening off in another direction. Let's do a silly question. So this isn't a poll. This is a silly question. Everybody can...
this is from family members from a few weeks back.
Yeah, we asked for some silly questions from family members, and we've got some here. We've been slowly working our way through them. You can type your answer in the super chat, or I should say,
poll time.
Type your answer in the live chat, or you can add it into the comment section down below.
Or if we can turn it into a poll, we'll turn it into a poll.
If we can turn it into a poll, we will. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh, I love this. This is from Diana C. Have you ever done a round table project? Everyone adds something to the project as it comes to them, one thing at a time. And what was it? So the only round table project, I'm going to read it again. So just so everybody kind of gets that. Have you ever done a round table project? So round table in quotes. Everyone adds something to the project as it comes to them, one thing at a time. What was it? So it's sort of like... if you've ever played like the story building game where someone starts with a sentence and then the next person has to add a sentence and the next person has to add a sentence, that's the kind of round table games that I've played where you kind of build on whatever came before. And then, of course, by the time it gets back to you, you're adding another sentence and the story kind of takes its own little route. Same thing can be done with crochet projects or craft projects, and that can be a real fun kind of game to play with friends, or even a neat way to build a project. So for example, if somebody starts with a granny square, they make row number 1, and then the next person comes along and does row number 2, and then it goes to the next person, row number 3, something like that. So has anyone done a round table project with friends or family? I'm curious.
Okay. It looks like some answers are coming through here.
5, 6, 7.
So first answer is from Jessica Rabbit, says no.
Jessica. No.
Kelly C, no. Kim says no. Jolene says no. Cameron says no.
I don't think I've ever done
Bionic Seer 2020. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but 2020 says no. Karen says no. Wow, it looks like everyone's saying no.
I wonder if Diane's here, if she could comment if she has made one, because I have to say, I know of the idea.
So what was it? A round table?
It's a round table project. So the idea is that you're sitting with friends.
Where you
do something and then you hand it to the next person. They add something, and the next person they add something.
That's fun for a club.
Like that.
Yeah.
Is it not Pictionary. What's that?
Don't people
Scribblish? No. Is it Scribblish?
The one where one person draws and the other person writes what it is?
Yeah, yeah. So somebody writes a sentence. That next person draws it.
I think that was Scribblish.
And then you bend up the page, and then the next person has to write what they think the picture is, and then you bend it, and the next person has to draw what they think, and then by the time it's like a broken telephone.
Yeah, it's very fun.
That's a fun game.
Yeah. It looks like most people have not tried that.
No. Yeah.
But that would be fun to try.
That would be fun, yeah.
It makes me think of the people that get together and do a quilt.
Yes,
they kind
like
of
a quilting
all
bee.
Work together on it.
Yeah.
It's not really the same. Though.
Well, see, there's a few different ways you can do that. For example, if you're putting together, if everybody makes a granny square and then, it's all kind of sewn into the same blanket, that's a group project, but not really a round table project. And a quilting bee is typically when you've got the thing stretched over the quilt frame and you're all doing the quilting aspect of it through the top layer, which is usually pieced, the middle layer, which is usually batting, and the bottom layer, which is usually just sort of a plain old backing.
I see.
Mm-hmm. And I got my third strip going here again. Just a quick little reminder for anybody who's popping in or popping out. And if anybody you see sort of them asking in the chat, if you can help out, if we don't quite answer it right away, I'm using the MMAM stitch, the MMAM Seashell stitch. Ooh, I'm into yellow now. Ooh, pretty. This is the tutorial that we put up last Friday, and I'm trying to make a baby blanket. I wanted to see how fast, I could, this sort of blanket would pop up. It's 38 rows of the seashell stitch pattern. The seashell stitch pattern is a row repeater, so a 2-row repeater. So the first row is an extended V-stitch, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. Every row starts with a chain 3 and ends with double crochet. And the second row is a 5 double crochet fan worked into the middle of the V-stitch. Of course, it looks like this. I'm using a smaller hook than I normally do. I'm using a 5mm for this project as opposed to the 5.5mm, which I use in the giant blanket that we're doing, or the larger blanket. But you can use whatever hook you want. You can use whatever yarn you want. And I was intending to make a baby blanket with this very pretty variegated yarn that I have. So ding, ding, Mr. InStitches.
Yes. We have a super sticker. Shout out to Diane.
Thank you, Diane.
Who has sent us a little sticker of what looks like a little golden retriever puppy.
Aw. Oh, that's cute.
That's what I think I'm seeing.
Gosh.
But then again, I'm pretty bad at guessing these animals.
Is it even an animal?
No,
sure
it's
not like
definitely it's definitely a dog.
It's not like a banana.
No.
A lobster,
So I ran and got my phone because we were gonna read out.
Yes.
Was it JC?
JC wrote us a
So
poem.
I'm gonna attempt to do this as best I can. So this is a poem JC sent us, and JC writes, "It's great to be back. I missed being here, but the virus took its toll on hubby and I this year. We were sick right after New Year's and we joined the COVID ranks, fever, chills, and feeling like we both were hit by tanks.
Oh, gosh.
Money was suddenly tighter and we had to let a few things go. One of those things, unfortunately, were super chats on Jayda's show. But now we're hale and healthy and have a few extra dollars and coins. So I came back to my favorite channel to see if I could still join and become a YouTube member and once again be part of the InStitches crochet family, whom I missed with all my heart."
It's so sweet. I love it.
We love it, JC. Thank you.
He's such a poet. I love it.
We're glad you guys are okay.
Yes.
And you fought it off.
Fought it off and recovered.
Good.
That requires a medal. We need to come up with
I think I'm gonna send JC one of my general medals.
Yes, like little
a poem star or something.
Ooh,
a golden star.
Golden star for poetry. I think I smell another emoji, Mr. InStitches.
Ooh, the golden star.
The golden. It's got to look like a medal, though.
You know what? You're right. It has to look like a medal.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Back to work.
Back to the drawing board, literally the drawing board.
Yes, that's a great idea. For now, I'll just use the sunshine we have.
Aw, I love that. All right, where am I at? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 rows already. I'm going to put a little marker in there to remind myself that I'm at 16. Shall I read another silly question?
Let me do a poll.
Sure.
Yes. Don says yes.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to read another
All
one.
right, one more.
Let me just finish my little seashell here. I'm warmed up now, baby. Yeah.
Seashells. What's that funny little poem from the seashell, the tongue twister?
She sells seashells down by the seashore.
She sells seashells down by the seashore.
She sells seashells down by the seashore. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
You're too good at that.
I like that one. There are more difficult ones that I am not nearly as good at. All right. This one's from Vima. If you have been given one wish just for you, and you have to ask for something for yourself, so come on, we got to be a little selfish here. What would you ask for? So you've been given a wish just for you, and you have to ask for something for yourself. So let's all take a moment. In these times of feeling like we feel kind of crummy, let's take a little wish just for ourselves. What would you wish for? I think I know I sound like a broken record, but I wish that I could just zap myself to the front end of a yacht. Or even just a nice boat, and I'd like to be in that Haulover Harbor, the wavy boats area in Florida, down on Miami Beach or down by one of the beaches.
Yeah,
just sort of
I think I'd like to be in Florida
looking at
right
all that
now.
beautiful water. I think that'd be nice. I'd like to be on a
I'm
beach.
considering migrating.
On a beach or on a boat.
I'm considering migrating to Florida. I think I'm gonna switch my citizenship from Canadian to United States Floridian.
Floridian.
As long as I just don't want to be a Florida man.
Yeah, I don't know. We get some strange news up here in Canada. But I have to say the Florida men ones are usually kind of
I'm just teasing. But there's always these funny jokes, like these memes and jokes about the Florida man. But
the reason
we learned why that is.
Yes, we did. But I have to say the reason Florida is on our minds right now is because we've been watching this YouTube channel called Wavy Boats, which is just wonderful. You get to look at all these pretty boats going through these 2 different inlets that are kind of difficult to navigate because the water's really rough. And so it's kind of funny. Some people know how to navigate it well. Some people really don't. But the boats are really pretty and the water is beautiful. And I love the ambient sound of all that water crashing in and the sunlight and the beach and occasionally people kind of wandering by in their bathing suits. It's just, it feels like a little beach vacation. So Florida's been on our mind lately.
Mm-hmm.
Florida,
Freedom, Florida.
Florida and
one of our viewers a few streams ago said, "Come down to Freedom, Florida," and I'm like, yes, I want to live in Freedom, Florida.
I want at least vacation there for a nice.
I'll toss Jayda on the front of a little boat or a yacht. Maybe we can borrow or steal one.
Borrow one. That's really nice.
We'll borrow one.
Borrow it.
And that would be wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what it takes to immigrate.
I don't
like a billion paper. I can't imagine.
A lot of red tape.
I can't imagine the paperwork.
I don't know. I've never even looked at that kind of a thing before. But I mean, I guess we could.
Or Texas.
We could just be snowbirds.
We could go to Texas.
You know, we could be snowbirds. We could do that thing that the retired people do up in this country, where they all kind of go stampeding down to Florida in the.
Yeah, someone mentioned that in the chat.
My grandparents did that. They were snowbirds.
That's more of a like a few months a year.
Yeah, avoid the Canadian winter.
We have friends, family friends that have homes in Florida and condos and things. Your grandparents used to go there every year.
They went every year.
I've been a handful of times, the whole Disneyland thing and Universal and all those fun theme parks. Yeah. The beach.
Florida is definitely a destination state for sure. If you want to
I'll never forget one of the years we went down with family, aunts and uncles and cousins, and we were on one of those beaches. I don't know if I'm saying it Clearwater Beach or is that a Florida beach?
That sounds like Clearwater, Florida, yeah.
Yeah, I remember being on this massive beach and we were having a great time, but it was really windy.
Yeah.
So we didn't realize because the wind kept you cool that we were getting obliterated by the sun. So that night we all get back into the hotel. And we go into, there's like all this drama going on in the next room, and we're like, what is going on? So I walk in there, and my cousin looked like the subscribe pillow behind you. I'm not kidding.
Oh,
that's how red he was.
Oh my!
And he couldn't, like, you couldn't even go 2 feet near him. Like, he was just like, you couldn't touch him. He was like he was like perched on the edge of the bed, like. He literally looked like lobster color.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Poor guy. It was.
My gosh.
But I mean, eventually he was okay. He healed, but it was. Hey, you forget how white you are, like being up in the north.
Yes.
Not a lot of sun.
Yeah, when you don't get sun for the whole winter,
your body's not.
You just don't get used to the sun.
Your body's not used to creating the melatonin or whatever that protects
everybody. I've got friends who are substantially darker than me, and if they don't put sunscreen on for those first couple of months, if we all get badly burned.
Christine says, I've been to Florida. The bugs are huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have pretty big bugs here too.
Nowhere near hot places though.
Well, not like, I mean.
But we get some.
Well, okay. Let's talk about blood-sucking bugs.
Okay.
So we've got some big blood
We're
suckers
gonna
up
be specific.
here. I don't.
Jackie says San Antonio is beautiful. Where's San Antonio? Is that a Florida, or that sounds more like California to me?
San Antonio?
Or is that Texas?
Is that Texas? San Antonio, Texas. That sounds like Texas goes with that word. Am I?
Yeah, that
right?
sounds. Yeah, I'm not sure. Texas. Yeah.
I don't believe I've ever been to Texas. I don't think I've been there. It's on my list of places to visit.
I've been down all the east states, obviously, because we've driven down to Florida several times. I remember stopping in Georgia and having like lunches, and just everyone was so nice and friendly.
It's my favorite thing.
It's like the absolute nicest customer service I've ever had in a restaurant was in Georgia. But that's just my experience.
I have to say, one of my favorite things about visiting the U.S. is just the people. Everybody is so astonishingly helpful and nice and friendly and welcoming. And did I say helpful? Like, hey, I'm looking for the so-and-so. And you get unbelievably like accurate directions. And
I need to visit the west side. I've always gone down the east side. I need to visit the west side.
I once flew into LAX, but I didn't spend any time there because we drove out to Vegas to visit family friends. That was a long time ago. That was a really cool drive.
Lives in Maine.
Maine,
Maine is beautiful.
Maine's beautiful. It looks like Nova Scotia.
Yeah, it looks like the East Coast up here. It's all
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 20, 22, 24, 26,
what's that area? Famous
30,
area,
32,
Vermont.
36, 38.
That's near Maine.
Strip number 3. See how fast the pattern is? It's the border that takes the longer amount of time. So there's pattern strip number 3, and now I'm going to start my border. I have to say, I have another funny little story. Speaking about customer service in America, especially in restaurants. This is old. So I'm going back many, many years. So things have changed quite a bit in Canada in the 20 or so years since this happened. But I remember we were driving down to Florida, and this was one of my first times ever visiting the States as a very young person. I think I might even have been 12. But we stopped at a restaurant. So we were just over the border. I think we were in Michigan, and we stopped at a restaurant. And it was like, your typical mom and pop kind of greasy spoon place, where all the good food is. And we pulled into the parking lot, and we walked in, and we sat down, and you're handed a menu. And back then, the menus I was familiar with in Canada were like a single page. And this menu was like, folded out forever. And I was like, wow. And I remember it took us a long time to decide what we were going to eat. And I think I was a kid, so I think I settled on something really simple like chicken fingers, the kids' food. And the waitress came over, and she started taking our order. And I remember like each order took like 5 minutes. Okay, well, like which side would you like with that? Well, what are the sides? Well, you can have French fries or spaghetti or all these different sides. And I remember like, okay, I'll just have French fries, Okay, and you get a second side. And would you like a this or a salad or this and a that? And I remember looking at my parents, and my mom was like, well, I don't know. What do you feel like? And I was like, okay. And I picked another one. And okay, what do you want to drink? And she went through and it was just, like each one was, and when the dish came, finally, it was the biggest plate I'd ever seen. Again, I was a kid, used to Canadians. Things have changed here, but it was so big, and it was like, but I think I was around 12, and I was hitting my growth spurt. I could eat for days. I was like, I'm moving to the States because they give you lots of food here.
Some of the best restaurants I ever ate in were in the States.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
beautiful like steak houses and huge portions,
big portions, but it's the customer service, just so friendly. I absolutely love it.
Well, we're really
selling the
we're
US,
really buttering up the Americans today, aren't we? I think we're being teased by Freedom, Florida.
Oh yeah, we are. We are. It's there's what did I do here? That's cute. Is that my? Oh, that's that one. Oh, that's right. I didn't leave that in. Problem alerted.
Kookiz asks, are you sewing in your tails or working over top of them?
I'm going to work over top of the ones that are easy, like this one right here. But the ones that I finish off, say, a border with, I'm going to weave them in later. And for speed's sake, I'm going to weave them all in at the same time.
Pixie Bell asks, because of what we're saying, don't you have customer service in Canada?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we do.
We do. We're teasing.
It's fine. It's fine. It's, you know, I mean, each place is hit and miss, but it's great. We're just reminiscing about our experiences traveling down to Florida.
I think when we say, you know, customer service and stuff, it's because in certain parts, I know it's different because Canada's the same way. There's big concentrated population pockets, and there's very loosely populated pockets. Depending, it's all hit and miss. I'm sure there are great restaurants and not so great restaurants, just like there is anywhere in the world. But I have found that when you go to an area where there's a lot of competition between restaurants, like maybe there's 5 or 6 that all kind of border the same parking lot, quite often there's like the customer service intensifies. It's like everybody's kind of, you know, they all offer really good food. So how do you make yourself how do you set yourself apart? Well, maybe you've got a gimmick, like you've got like a monster truck parked in the front lawn or something, or you know, okay, everybody's got a gimmick and everybody offers really good food and everybody offers really big portions. Well, now how do you set yourself apart? Customer service, right? You know, if you go somewhere and everybody's really friendly and really helpful, it just makes the whole kind of experience that much better. So yes, absolutely, we've got good customer service in places here in Canada. It's just that I feel like, and this was, again, I'm talking about like 20 plus years ago. Oh, I'm so old. This was back in a time when, you know, we just didn't have tons of different sit-down restaurant chains in Canada in kind of more areas. Like if you go to like a city center, there would have been more opportunities for different kind of restaurants. But like the further out you got, you know, into the suburbs back in the 80s in Canada, there just weren't that many restaurant options. And if there were a handful, and there weren't just so many. There are a lot more options now in a lot more places because our population's been growing. Yes. But you know, that was my first kind of like going to a place, for example, when we were visiting friends in Vegas, again, like 20 some odd years ago. I remember going somewhere and getting out of the car. And it was like kind of like 2 PM. So it was kind of like past the lunch rush, and it wasn't really the dinner rush. And it was just the 4 of us. So we kind of got out of the car, and we were hot. It was August. I mean, I love visiting Vegas, but going in August probably wasn't all that bright. It was swelteringly hot. And we got out of the car, and we were sort of standing there in this parking lot. And I remember there were several kind of like little restaurants pinned around it. And we were kind of like, we hadn't really settled on a restaurant. We kind of drove in and parked, and we got out, and we were thinking, I think it was sort of like, where can we go to just grab a quick bite to eat, or, you know, is anybody open? Like, you know, we were so hot, we weren't even thinking properly. And I remember the manager of one of the places came running outside. He literally ran out the door, and he was like, hey, we've got a really great kids menu. We've got a really great kid menu here. Come on over here, you know, and, you know, air conditioning. And he was like selling his restaurant. And I remember we were like, all right, that'll do it. And we headed off there.
Sold.
And I think we were only one of like a couple people in the whole restaurant, again, because it was the middle of the afternoon, and they were so friendly, and the manager was chatting us up, and where are you from? And it was just, I don't know. I guess there back in the 80s, the touristy parts of Canada were few and far between. Yes. We certainly didn't live near any of them. So there was probably more of that in the touristy areas. Yeah. But
well, back in the 80s,
it was just so nice.
What was our population? Like 25 million?
Probably. across how big a
like
stretch?
it exploded in the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't growing as fast when we were kids.
Yeah, it wasn't growing
as
as
it
quickly.
is in the last couple of decades.
The last couple decades. Yeah, we finally.
So but in the States they were probably at almost 300 million back then.
Yeah. A lot more people.
Like way more. Like what is that? 10 times.
And
the
obviously,
population?
like when we would visit the States, we were going to the touristy places. You know, I mean, obviously because we were tourists. So
I loved Universal Studios.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah, I love that too.
Epcot Center, Busch Gardens. Busch Gardens was my favorite back then. I haven't been there in like 30 years.
I know.
Back then, I loved.
We're drawing on some old memories here.
Yeah, we're going in the Wayback Machine.
We're in the Wayback Machine. Yeah, I remember Busch Gardens. I remember Universal Studios. I think I saw Universal Studios when I was 14. That was a good age to see that. All right. Just to recap, everybody who's popping in and popping out, we're just sort of having a chill stream today. It's a casual live stream party. I'm just working on a baby mini Mighty Mile a Minute blanket. I'm using the seashell stitch. I'm only doing 38 rows per strip. And I'm doing the same sort of shell stitch join as you go border on them. So that's what I'm up to. I'm just working on joining strip number 3 so far.
Jolene says, your Canadian Niagara Falls are prettier than ours. Stayed there for 2 years ago and loved them and loved the area.
Very pretty falls.
Yes, it is. I think it's a better angle.
Just a better perspective.
It's a better perspective angle. That's why. But I have to say, the whole Niagara Falls region, like it's gotten a lot. They put a lot of work into it.
Yeah,
it's actually gotten pretty great in the last like decade or so.
Yeah,
I remember when we used to go as a kid. Like the falls were always beautiful, but like there was nothing there. There was a parking lot and maybe a little bit of that funny little strip with all the goofy.
Yeah, you only just introduced that to me a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Clifton Hill, Hill, which I think is mostly closed now.
Yeah,
so sad.
Jayda and I went there a couple of years ago. We stayed in one of the hotels that was tall, like one of the really tall ones. So we had this. It was really awesome. We got upgraded to one of the fancy rooms, which was a total surprise because they needed the space on certain floors because they had a big group of people coming.
Yeah, there was a huge convention going on.
So they said, for like a few extra bucks, you can have like one of our soup fancy. And we were like, okay.
Sure.
So we had this the best view of the falls I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And it was really neat because we kept the window open and you just hear the rumbling falls all night.
Yeah, it was so nice.
Yeah. It
was cool too because the window in the room, it was floor to ceiling windows and it kind of popped out a little bit. Like it had just a little bit of a bow to it. So you could kind of like look left and right and you could look straight down.
Yeah.
It was the most beautiful view of the falls because you were up high so you could really appreciate it.
Yeah, we loved it so much. We would go get our food and instead of staying in the restaurants and the diners, all those, we would bring it to the room.
We'd sit there and look at it.
And we'd sit at our little table and look at it because it was just amazing.
And then the light show, they turned the lights on at night and it was it was so pretty. Oh, and I also love too because you can look across at the American side and all of the American buildings and obviously the ones on this side, but we can't see them as well as we could see the ones across the river. We're all had like really neat like light kind of signs and stuff blinking and going, and I don't know, it was really very pretty at night, I have to say. That was a great view. I'd never really been able to conceptualize how the water kind of moved.
The shape, the way
because we were up so high, you could sort of see the whole river.
Yeah, it was really neat.
It was really cool.
And all the bridges.
All the bridges.
You can see all the bridges from up there.
Yeah. And that was a lovely little trip.
Short and sweet.
Yep, short and sweet. That's how I like my trips. Okay, I'm going to refill my water. I'll be right back.
I guess a poll while everyone's waiting for Jayda the superstar to show up. For everyone. We got a super chat. Super chat from Jacqueline. It's my little bell. So, Jacqueline says, you just gave me an idea for a baby blanket that I'm going to make for a teacher of my twin boys who just had a baby boy. Excellent. What are you going to do? The shell stitch? The seashell stitch? With the exception of 2020 and 2021, we go at least twice a year, usually off season. Love the falls. Yeah, it really is a great little place now. It's always been awesome, but now there's just so much you can do. Like it's really filling up. It's really becoming a nice tourist
what are we talking
attraction. About? The falls area.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, like it's just full of activities, and I like to call it like the mini Las Vegas. It's kind of makes me think of there's super mini version.
There's definitely
of Las
like
Vegas.
stuff like there's so much more to do.
Yeah,
there's more like neat restaurants, and there's
more neat restaurants. There's more like now they're building things like funny little sporting. You know those things where you can get in a flight suit with the mega fan.
Yeah, and you can
like they're building those
skydiving
things.
in a
yeah, like virtual skydiving,
yeah.
and then they've got the big giant arcades with the 3D seat, like movies and seats, kind of like they have in Florida.
I will say this though, if you
had those for a while.
If you are planning a trip to Niagara Falls when it reopens, and people can resume regular activities, when you need a coffee, go to the Tim Hortons. Don't go to the Starbucks, because a Tim Hortons coffee is still a regular price. Starbucks also puts I think Niagara Falls puts like a tourism tax on everything. And I think we tried to get a couple of small coffees just quickly at the Starbucks. Remember, it was like $20 for just two small, they weren't even like fancy coffees. They were just two coffees. And I was like, wow. So we went to the Tim Hortons, literally like in the building next door, and it was the regular, price. And it was like, and that's where all the older folks were. And I'm like, so they know what's what.
This is where you got to follow the older people.
They know what's going on.
Yeah. Sherry, one of our channel members, says, my Niagara Falls story. Did the Niagara on the Lake wine tour with my grandfather when I was 19. Aww. And he said we didn't have a reason to go to Niagara Falls until I told him I'd never seen them before. So he took me to see them. Aww,
that's so sweet.
That's great. That's also a beautiful little place, Niagara on the Lake, the little village. Yeah. Oh, I love it there.
They've got the Shaw Theater Festival.
It's such a nice little spot to hang out.
We really enjoyed the Butterfly Conservatory.
Yes, highly recommend the Butterfly Conservatory.
Really recommend that. That was sensational. And the tropical birds, the bird.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. That was a lot bigger than I expected.
Yeah, that was really fabulous.
The tropical bird museum-y thing.
There was a bird there. I don't even know
what you'd call it. It's kind of like a sanctuary, sort of. Bird paradise?
Wait,
bird world?
I have something from there.
Bird land? Birds R Us?
Bird Kingdom.
Oh yeah, you got a little pad.
I have this, I'm a sucker for it. Does this show up?
Yeah, put it closer, actually. It's even showing the 3D effect. Yep. Yeah, it works.
That's I mean, owls love owls, and little writing book, but Bird Kingdom.
Yes,
that's
Bird Kingdom. Yeah, especially kids.
Yes.
Oh, they'll love it.
There was this one bird there. I'm not sure what it was called. A golden pheasant. That might have been what it was. A golden pheasant or something. Kind of like a peacock, you know, when they shaped like a peacock with the long feathers. This bird was every color of the rainbow. It was bright red and gold, and it had an entire rainbow in it. I've never seen. Remember that one? I took like 300 photographs of that bird because I couldn't believe what I was looking at.
Which one?
You know what? I will post a photo
of the bird
in the community tab later on this afternoon of the bird I'm talking about, because it was absolutely
let's do
gorgeous. That. And I'll have to do it. It's on my phone, so I'll have to do it from my phone.
We'll do that later for sure.
But and then if maybe you guys, if you know what it is, you can identify it in the comments because I'm not sure. I think it's called a golden.
Shell says if you ask them to take the extra tax off the bill, they will. Probably because it's not actually a legitimate law.
Shell,
I remember hearing all about this controversial surcharge that they were trying to do.
Yeah,
and everyone was like, "Where's the money going?"
Yeah.
And no one could answer.
Nobody could answer it, and nobody could tell who
and
decided.
People were like, "I think there's some weird stuff going on."
Yeah,
here.
it's not actually
it's not a
permissible.
Yeah, but I really don't know what's the deal with that.
I think, that was the big problem was they didn't know where the money was going.
That's the problem, because if they were saying we're trying to keep the place orderly and clean. But then where's the money trail?
Yeah.
Like where's the gals getting paid to help?
Because remember when we were there, like all night long, like you could get up at 2 a.m. and I don't sleep. So you could look outside.
Actually, I was up all night because I just kept looking out the window and watching people do stuff.
There was life constantly. There were constantly road crews. There were people cleaning, sweeping, changing garbage bags.
And we weren't even there during the height of this. Height of
it was April. We were there in April.
Yeah, it was just before the
tourist season.
The tourist season.
Yeah.
It was still pretty busy.
It was busy enough. Yeah. Again, with the conventions and stuff coming through.
So I'm going to close the poll and see what the answers are.
What was the poll question?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know? That's between us and me.
And did I hear you yell there was a super chat? Can you just tell me who that was?
Yes, we got a super chat from Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. Thank you, Jacqueline.
And Jacqueline said, you just gave me an idea for a baby blanket that I'm going to make for a teacher of my twin boys who just had a baby boy.
Aww. Oh my gosh, twin boys. That's so cute. Lovely. I had a friend that I worked with who had twin boys, and I made him matching baby blankets, and that was fun. I remember. I think I may have taken.
So the poll was: have you ever been to Niagara Falls?
Yay!
And 70% no.
Wow.
29% yes. Well, I have to say, if you've never been, and you're ever considering a weekend getaway, 3 days,
3 days,
4 days, I highly recommend crossing the border when they open it.
Yes, when it opens. And
coming to our side, if you're American. If you're coming across the pond, then just fly into but I recommend the Canadian side.
Yeah.
Because it does have the better
it's got a really
perspective
nice view
of the view. But then again, I've never been on the American side, so I don't even know what it's like. I've just seen photos and stuff.
Well, we can see the American Falls.
They've got that platform that comes all the way, like you can walk out.
Yeah, really nice viewing platform.
Yeah, they've got that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's plenty to do. So if you've got a family,
I think is that Buffalo? It's New York State, right? Or is it Michigan? I don't know.
We're again with the geography, we're terrible at it. If you've got kids, then there's plenty for everybody to do in Niagara Falls. So it's as much a great destination for just a young couple, an older couple, as it is for a family. Like they're really trying to be kind of like all inclusive. Not all inclusive as in like a resort, but like inclusive.
New York State. Yes, it is Buffalo. It's Buffalo, the city. So what's the Buffalo side like? Is it kind of like our side where it's very touristy and there's, restaurants and casinos and that sort of thing? Is it similar?
Like from the skyline?
Yeah, I'm curious. Yep, Buffalo, New York.
Oh, this is so cute. All right. Well, while
I'm reading everyone's
you're
comments
asking,
here.
I'm gonna reach into the bowl and get another silly question going.
Sure. Yes, it is very touristy on the Buffalo side. Okay, good to know.
It's a really nice place to visit, like in May. In
and if you
June.
do go, make sure you go to the Niagara Falls on the lake. What's it called? Niagara on the lake. Yes.
That's a very pretty
that's
little
a
town.
very pretty little town to just kind of peruse.
Also, if you're staying,
have a nice lunch.
If you do a thing where you like stay at one of the hotels, at least on the Canadian side, I don't know what it's like on the American side, but you can arrange day trips through the hotel, like to go visit a winery in the Niagara wine region, and those are really fun. So I mean, obviously not for kids, but those are really nice. You get into a really pretty little limo bus, and they they take you out there, and you wander around the grounds, and you see the winery, and you can do just one, you can do several of them.
The bundles, right?
The bundles,
like the B&B bundle, where you kind of get a tour and a dinner.
Remember, you can get that the like on say Friday afternoon, there's the winery tour, and then you come back, and then on Saturday you get like the Made of the Mist tour, like you buy that kind of package or whatever, and then you've got a little something to do like all day.
Yep, been on that.
Okay, this is our Friday, June 11th chill fest.
What is the nearest airport on the Canadian side?
That would be Pearson.
The major one would be Pearson International, which is in
Toronto. But
is it Toronto, or is it more like Etobicoke?
But it's Toronto.
Etobicoke/Mississauga.
Yeah. I think the some of the,
I mean, it's considered Toronto, but
it's on the northern end of the city.
That would be the closest major one, but
Hamilton has
Niagara region probably has
Hamilton has an airport, and I think like you can the smaller planes will fly into Hamilton.
Sure.
But the international airport is the Toronto airport.
Yeah.
Oh,
so we're gonna do another question. Okay, is everyone ready?
This one's from Sakura Sue.
Oh, okay.
Share a personal fact that no one would ever guess about you.
Whoa.
Ooh, keep it clean, though, everybody.
That's deep. Yeah, keep it clean. This is a family-friendly
I actually
show.
shared a couple earlier. I said I love watching boxing,
you shared boxing, and you shared that you're a karate martial artist.
I'm into martial arts.
Quasi, violent.
Kind of retired now, though. The RA keeps me from
You'll notice whenever Jayda has a crochet hook in her hand, I'm like nowhere near her. You notice that? You notice I'm never in the frame? There's a reason I'm never, nearby. Look at that. Look at that weapon.
It is a hook, after all. Hooks can be kind of devastating. Let me think. If I got another fact that I could share that nobody would guess about me.
How disabled friendly is Canada? I would say Canada's pretty good.
Yep.
Canada, I have to give them kudos. Especially if you're going to
and they're getting government better every day.
Yeah, if you're going to government run things like museums and parks and like that, they're usually excellent. But even private, a lot of private places, like that hotel we stayed at, it had ramps everywhere.
Fully everything.
Yeah. So I would say if you're disabled and you're in a wheelchair, you could, as long as you can get there comfortably, you'd be fine in Niagara. There's ramps everywhere.
So this depends on your kind of transportation. So for example, there's a really pretty boardwalk sort of promenade that you can do in the Niagara region. If you are in a wheelchair, or if you're using wheels of any kind, or you're uncertain with your steps, so you use a cane, or you're just a little uncertain with your footing, I wouldn't recommend anything that has like the unevenness of a boardwalk or like cobblestones or something. But walking around, getting around, rollering around, wheeling around Niagara Falls proper, no problem. There's ramps down and off every single sidewalk.
Everywhere.
Every single staircase has the ramp way to get into the hotel.
Yep.
They all have elevators and stuff that are nice and roomy.
Yep.
So,
and if you talk to like if you're serious about it and you talk to a travel agency, they'll make sure your route is like always smooth sailing.
Yep.
So
everything has Braille on it. That was something I noticed because I love buttons, that. So there's Canada tries really hard.
I have to say Canada's pretty good.
They get better every year. Like obviously you don't know what you don't know.
The museum we went to in in Ottawa, it offered Papa InStitches free of charge one of those because he needed the rascal, and they had a bunch of them there free of charge.
Yes.
You could use it and you
just sign it out.
You sign it out and off you go, and there's you can get to every single part of the museum on the rascal.
That was what used to be called the History of Civilization Museum, but now I think it's just, help me out, Gatineau. It's called the Museum of History, the Canadian Museum of History. It changed its name. It's right on the Gatineau-Quebec border.
Yeah. It's got that big.
But it's in Gatineau. It's actually in Quebec.
It's in Quebec, but it's literally right across the bridge.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite museums. It's really nice. If you ever are planning a trip to Canada to tour and you want to go to the nation's capital in Ottawa, you can see a nice chunk of Quebec too while you're there because it's
Christine
right on the
missed
border.
the question. You want to repeat the question?
Yes. I will repeat the question.
Julie's Creations says, "I'm a black belt in Taekwondo." Ooh.
Nice with Julie.
Pat says, "I was a preemie baby back in 1953.
A preemie baby.
Oh, wow.
You know what?
Wow.
That's a cute family story. My great grandmother was such a preemie. She was a pound. Apparently, this is the family lore. That my great great grandmother kept her in a wooden bread box behind the wood stove to keep her warm until she got bigger. All right, the question again was from Sakura Sue. Share a personal fact that no one would ever guess about you. I'm trying to think what nobody would guess about me. I like a lot of different musical.
I have a blue band in judo, says Marilyn.
Very good.
Hey Marilyn, how are we doing? Are we helping you get out of your funk?
Yes. Are you
Let us know. Give us a rating out of 1 to 10.
10 being funkless and 1 being
funk more.
Funky.
Funky. From a scale from funkless to funky.
From funky to funkless.
We really have to be careful with these words because we're really get bordering the other ones. Marilyn's feeling much better. Woohoo!
Yay! Awesome. I'm feeling much better too. Hanging out with everybody and telling silly stories is actually
hello.
Really good tonic.
Creatively created.
Hey.
So I was right. Pearson is technically in Mississauga, even though it's Toronto Pearson.
Trying to think what would be something about me that nobody would guess.
I think you already answered that twice.
I was a fighter pilot when I was 16. Not a lot of people would guess that about me.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a big one. I flew gliders when I was 16. Yeah. I had my pilot's license before I could drive.
You're a lot older than you look.
Yeah, I
and act.
I had my glider pilot license before I could drive. That's
a big one.
Yeah, before I could drive a car. There you go. That's something most people wouldn't know. And no, I do not still glide.
I'm a pro surfer. Okay.
Oh, that's great.
This stuff better be true, guys. I don't want you guys trolling us.
Trolling is fine.
Christine says, I'm a pro surfer. Is that true?
That's awesome.
Because if that's true, I would love to see some like videos of you.
I would also like to come down and get lessons.
Can you like send us to like a YouTube channel?
Yeah, do you
something?
teach surfing?
I would love to learn how to surf.
That's something I would love to do.
And learn how to avoid sharks. How do you avoid sharks?
I would like to avoid drowning. That's
I've tried knee boarding. I think that's what it's called.
Oh yeah, like off the back of a boat kind of thing?
Where you're not. I tried water skiing, but I basically just skied on my face the whole time. I was really good at that. It's hard. And I tried knee boarding, and I was much better. That's easier to sort of pick up. It's still tricky, but it's easier to pick up, and that was fun. But my goodness, is it hard? It's a workout on your body because you're being pulled by the arms.
Yes,
but you're trying to hold the rest of your body forward.
Yeah. I've never really tried water skiing or water sports like that. I think I like those paddle boards. You see people sort of standing on them and paddling around. I think I would like to try that. That looks kind of neat.
Shell says, I used to sing professionally in rock bands.
No way! Okay,
whoa!
That's awesome.
I want to hear some of that hardcore rock and roll. Are we talking like Norwegian death metal stuff, Shell? Can you imagine Shell? I'm picturing Shell singing like that. And crocheting at the same time.
Now that's a video worth watching. Oh my goodness.
I would watch that from beginning to end.
Several times.
This is great. I'm loving this.
This is fun. Well, read some more out. I want to hear them.
Read out the question again so other people can catch it.
So Sakura Sue said, share a personal fact that no one would ever guess about you.
I love this one.
Those are fun. I like that.
Marilyn says, you are amazing. 10 out of 10. Now, if only that would be enough to cure depression. Yes. But I'm also on meds, so someday I'll be getting out of this.
Hopefully that helps. Yes.
Yes. And you know what?
Thank goodness for modern medicine.
Call someone that makes you smile.
Mm-hmm. Hang out with us.
Yeah, hang out with us first.
Yes, let us make you make you laugh, hopefully, and then definitely chat with.
Watch us embarrass ourselves live regularly, and then call a friend or family, someone that makes you giggle.
Look at how this is working out.
Oh,
pink,
my
orange. God. I love it. It is like so pretty.
Oh, look at how nice that is.
It looks like a creamsicle.
Wow. It's it's picking up. The camera's picking it up. It's a little bit blurry. That looks really good.
Isn't that pretty?
I would buy that off you.
Would you?
Yeah. If you offered me a good price.
If I offered you a good price. I know I have a measuring tape around here. It's the girls have hidden it on me. I'm gonna go get a measuring tape. I'll bring it back.
I entered the technology career in 1970s at the ripe age of 17.
Whoa!
Cool.
Now that's literally the edge of it. All right. It's 7 inches wide so far and 26 inches long. That's all before blocking, so it will definitely size up a little bit. But so far so good. I like it.
I sing and play piano.
Yay!
Awesome. I would love to see that too.
I am not good at singing. I do play piano though. That's something else. I play piano. I played piano for a long time actually.
I was an advanced scuba diver and did night diving.
Whoa.
I went scuba diving once when I was on vacation and I loved it. It was so fun.
I've never been scuba diving.
This was my first time ever, so I got the sensation. It almost felt like I was flying.
Wow.
Because I know it sounds weird, but because you can go in any direction, it feels strange. Like it's cool and strange. And meanwhile, you're breathing.
Yeah. And of course, you've got
I loved it.
Is that where you wear like the big flippers and the air tank?
Yeah, they teach you in the pool. You know those resorts. They teach you in the pool how to use the the tanks, so you have a basic idea of how to use it. And if it falls out, or if you lose your,
Like what to
they
do.
teach you all the little, safety things. And then they drive you out, boat you out, and then they make everyone jump in backwards. And we didn't have the full wetsuit. We just had the tank, the goggles, the breather, and the flippers.
And the flippers.
Yeah. And it's not in a very deep area, obviously, so you can kind of go down.
I don't know if I could convince myself to breathe underwater.
It's a strange feeling especially when you start like taking deep breaths and water. It's weird.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I thought it was really fun.
Love to watch those like people who take video when they're scuba diving and they're underwater. I love that. I think that's so pretty. Any more?
I'm trying to read through. Did anyone else answer the question? I can converse in sign language. Oh, awesome.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. That's something I want to learn.
I would love to hire Darren so that you could translate our tutorials.
His arms would fall off. I talk constantly.
Yeah, Jayda does talk a lot and fast. What else we got here? My dad was a 3-month preemie cotton wool baby in 1915. Now my granddaughter is a trainee pediatric RN.
Aww.
Oh, that's awesome.
What a sweet circle. Oh my gosh.
I was a color guard for the matching band in high school. Oh, I think that's marching band in high school. What's a color guard?
I think that's where you carry the flags.
And you do that like flipping
the flaggy stuff.
And
that's something we don't have a lot of.
I would
here
also
in
like
Canada.
to see that on video.
I would
Summer.
like to see that too.
I was thinking of Summer the other day. We were playing one of our Switch games.
Oh, we got a new game. Yeah, we're still working out on whether, like, I guess we're still
working it out.
The learning.
Yeah, it's a little complicated, but we're enjoying it.
If any of you ever had a DS, so a Nintendo 3DS, there was a game for it called Fantasy Life, and I may have mentioned it before because it's literally my favorite game of all time. I've never enjoyed a game so much in my life. I've played it all the way through ad nauseum, and then I will probably be playing it through again because it's just so much fun. It's like a cute little chibi cartoon role-playing game, but not super difficult. Anyway, the same people who made that game made a game called Snack World, and we're playing that right now. So once again, you got to be into video games. 2, you have to be into kind of role-playing RPG games where you have to go out on quests and, crawl through dungeons and fight monsters and stuff with your swords and figure out how all the different little things that you keep kind of accumulating can all mix together to make your character better. If you're not into it, you're not into it. But if you are into it, this one's actually pretty fun. But I've put, I don't know how many hours into it, and I still feel like I'm in the tutorial.
I looked at your profile yesterday. I snuck around, and I was like going through your diary and journals. You were at about 8 hours.
I'm at 8 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Okay.
know.
So I've put 8 hours into this game.
Yeah.
And I'm
just
still
scratching the surface.
Figuring it out. Not that it's annoying. It's not got a steep aggravating.
It's just an RPG. So you have to learn what all the materials
how to switch between your weapons and all that stuff. Anyway, but it's cute. It's like a sweet, goofy little kind of Japanese chibi cartoon characters.
Yeah.
And you can kind of personalize your little character. And I, of course, chose the feisty personality. And every single time she runs off to battle, she makes me laugh really hard because she runs with her knees up. Like she runs like Wario. She like picks up her knees and flaps her arms around. I don't know. It's just anyway.
Here's one fun. From Heather. When I was 16, I went to college and became the first and only female certified small engine and outboard mechanic to graduate top 3 from that college.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
If you're having internet issues,
breaking the glass ceiling,
it could be us.
40 years.
But if not, just back out of the stream and then
try it again.
Load it up again.
We're still here.
That sometimes helps if it's on your end.
Yeah. It's entirely possible that it's on our end though, because squirrels.
Yes, yes. And the later the day goes on, the more people jump online in the in the area, and that slows things down.
Like we said, we're really hoping we get better internet soon.
Yeah.
But we're fingers are crossed.
I play World of Warcraft Classic. I'm almost 63.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. So are you a boomer?
At 63.
Is 63 a boomer? Because I love boomers that play video games.
I'm gonna say that's right on the boomer X line, I would think.
There's that. Remember those videos of that grandmother that played Animal Crossing?
No,
one of them plays Skyrim like obsessively, and the other one plays Animal Crossing obsessively, and they're like in their 80s.
Yes.
That one grandmother had like 3,000 hours in Animal Crossing.
That's such a sweet game. That was the 3DS version she had.
Yes, but then they upgraded her to the Switch. Mr. InStitches, don't worry. I did do horseback riding and jumping.
Woo! Horseback riding and jumping.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. This is great. I love you get enough people into one room and you have this rich tapestry of experiences. Like, oh my gosh, everybody could tell stories for hours, and you'd never hear the same thing twice.
Here's from Cheryl. My husband bought me my first sewing machine as a wedding anniversary present in the 28th of May.
Score.
So at nearly 50 years old, I'm going to learn to sew. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I gotta know.
Jayda is obsessed.
Was it a surprise? And did you squeal? Because you got me.
I bought you
my serger.
We call that the Ferrari.
The Ferrari.
You want to show everyone your gorgeous serger?
I don't know if I can. You know what? I can move it.
It's Kyle. Just turn the camera. Just lift the thing off of it. Let me see. Am I going the right way?
Has its own little.
Yeah, we can see it. You don't have to lift it. It's heavy.
This is, and then the little thing pops up. Yeah. It's a baby lock.
Yeah, I bought that for Jayda a few years back.
Yes. That's,
well, actually, many more than a few years, but.
Yeah, let me just get that back in the spot. I love
That's literally your baby.
It's my baby.
It's even called baby.
It's even called baby mode. Yeah, I love that thing. I keep this little cover on. I love to sew. I love to sew so much. It was the first thing. It was the first mega kind of like fabric needlecraft craft that I really got into in a big way, and I still love it. I wish I had more time. I was talking about this with Crystal the other day. I feel like the pile of things that I want to get to, the projects I want to sew, they just keep piling up, and I just never seem to find the time to get to them. But you know what? Darn it all, this weekend I am going to do some sewing.
We're too busy making crochet tutorials for everyone.
We are very busy making crochet tutorials.
But
we love crochet too.
We would love to get into some sewing videos too. It's just at the moment we don't have the time. But we would really love to do that.
I would love to do that. I would love to
Jayda loves sewing more than crochet.
Yeah, I do. That's something you might not know.
Yeah, there's another something that nobody knows about you.
I absolutely love crochet, as evidenced by the fact that this is what we do every week, and I do so much of it. But sewing is my first love, and I love to sew quilts. I love to sew clothes. I love to sew toys. I love to sew doll clothes. I just love sewing. I love the sound of the machine whirring away quietly on the table. I love the sound of the scissors cutting fabric as the sound off the table.
I used to love that too. My mom would when she got into sewing and she'd do her little things, I always remember hearing those scissors cut through the fabric on a wooden table.
Yes.
That is such a satisfying sound. Why is that?
That's a great question. I don't know. But love that sound. I love fabric stores. I go insane in a fabric store. If you walk me into a Fabric Land, which is the main sort of fabric chain store out here, I don't even know where to go first. I don't know whether to go look at pretty like skirt fabric. I don't know whether to go look at the tasty squishy polyester kind of polar fleece. I don't know whether to go to the huge great big calico cotton print section. I don't know. I literally short out.
So I'm going to answer a few questions.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Jessica Rabbit says I still play Fantasy Life.
I love that.
Jayda
game
loves
so much.
it.
I love it.
Twyla asks, what was the game Jada's playing? So
It's called Snack World.
Snack
Jessica,
World.
you might really like it.
It's the same
people that
yeah.
made it. Level 5, I think, is the.
It's the same people. We did all this research on it. We've been waiting for Fantasy Life 2 for like
we were promised
8 years.
Yeah.
They were going to bring it out on mobile, which we were like, boo, because we like the consoles. And then they changed their mind, and then they released this game called Snack World in Japan in 2018.
Now, having said that, there is a Fantasy Life 2. It is on mobile, but it's only in Japan. So we haven't got that
so
yet.
they did release
They do have a second one, but then they kind of like
I
backtracked.
thought they hadn't finished it
yet. They were going to release one here and they were going to do a sequel to Fantasy Life, but then they decided that they wanted people who were coming to this game for the first time for it not to feel so much like a sequel. I think they've completely changed it all from the beginning. But still waiting for that. But in the meantime, Snack World. Super cute, very funny. Everything is food. Everything is food related.
Heather says, Mr. InStitches, it's your turn to answer the question.
Yes. What's something about you that people...
Well, I mean, there's a million things. I'm kind of private. I'm a very private person. But, I guess this would shock everyone. I own a Harley Davidson, and I ride a Harley Davidson. And once in a while, I convince my wife to take a ride with me.
He does. He has a Harley.
How's that for a bomb?
With the loud everything.
Like with the blows your head off, loud pipes, chromed up to wazoo, shined up
leather
to wazoo, leather
saddlebags,
bandana on the scary
the
skull
the
bandana
big boots with the big heels,
huge leather boots,
leather chaps.
Sometimes leather chaps. Sometimes the cowboy boots come on. That's what I'm really feeling like.
Yep.
Top notch.
Yeah. We got you cowboy boots. You had to have cowboy boots.
There's a lot of jaw drops. Kaboom!
It's a beautiful Harley too. It's all beautiful pearly white and chrome.
I've taken a bunch of video, but we were unsure how to share that.
Yes.
So
it's a bit of a shocker.
Maybe we will one day.
But it's a very pretty. Yes, we do go on the occasional little motorcycle ride. But yeah, you've got a motorcycle. You're a full
Summer says I was raised around Harleys. That's awesome. We have a few friends that are like really into it, and they go on like the whole club thing, and they go on big long rides.
Yeah.
And sometimes we've gone with them, and it's fun.
It is fun. Yeah. Yeah, we've got a few friends that ride Harleys.
We have a lot.
Comes kind of with living out in the country. I
guess
it's a little easier, a little more accessible.
Yeah, I don't really enjoy driving it in the cities. I don't find that fun. There's just too much traffic.
Yeah, and it's the back roads
I like the slow cruising back roads. 10 under the like. I don't even do the limit because I just like cruising. Once in a while, I'll open it up. Aggravate some farmer. Poor farmers just like, just watering the carrots.
Get stuff done.
Sure. I'm just kidding. LOL, I can see Mr. InStitches with the whole getup. Yep.
He's got the whole getup. He's
got it all.
The glasses and
I also used to have a jet ski.
Yeah. Which
was my pre-Harley toy. That was a lot of fun.
That was before me.
That was before you.
Actually, you had the Harley before me too.
Yeah, you're right. I did.
Sort of love me, love my Harley kind of situation.
Yeah. I sold the jet ski, the water. I guess you'd call it a watercraft. It's the one that you sit on. I miss it. I miss throwing that thing in the water and tearing around, but you need space to keep all these things.
Yeah, you need space.
And you have to maintain stuff. As you get older, maintaining stuff gets more and more frustrating.
Yes.
I'd like to hear some more other people's stuff. Jessica Rabbit says, that doesn't surprise me at all. Really? Okay.
It's always the cute, shy ones, right? The cute, shy, private ones that are a little bit surprising.
Mm-hmm. Well, someone earlier said I'm handsome, so they're gonna get the biggest General G. I'm General G now.
General Handsome Goofy. General Goofiness Handsome edition.
Has Mr. InStitches had any speeding tickets? When I was a lot younger, when I was like out of my late teens, early 20s, I had a few here and there, but not really, not literally 2 maybe.
We're very careful drivers.
Yeah. we're like no offense to the all the young people out there, all the older people out there, but we drive like old people.
We do.
We forget our blinkers on. we do the limit or less.
Yes.
People are constantly passing us.
Yes. Before the pandemic, when I was commuting to work, I would be passed constantly, and I do the speed limit or even 5 or 10 over, depending on if it's a nice, dry, clear day, and people still zip past me. So I don't know. It doesn't matter. My very best attempts to kind of keep up with traffic, and I always end up being slower than everybody. So, but I'd rather safe than sorry.
Oh my goodness, sweetie, you're gonna love this one. This is from Lenny. Lenny says, I grew up working at my mother's fabric store. You're gonna make Jayda jealous.
Yes.
She would have loved that.
Oh, I would have loved that.
Have we ever done skydiving?
No.
I considered it as a teenager. I had friends that were really into it, and they were constantly trying to convince, other people and friends to go. And I think as I got older, I kind of chickened out. But I've always wanted to.
I've considered it.
I don't know if I would now, though.
I've considered it. I flew
I'd probably
gliders.
pass out in the plane, just get going up in the air.
I'm not afraid of flying. I was saying earlier, I flew gliders when I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
Soloed them. Caught thermals, with the birds, and stayed up for ages. And so I even could do some of the more dangerous stuff like stalls and dives and everything. I love that. Doesn't scare me in the slightest. I could do it right now. I'm not afraid of that, because I feel like with a glider, unlike a machine that has a plane with an actual engine in it, I feel like I felt like I was a lot more in control of the glider, and I only had to worry about wind. I didn't have to worry about the engine stopping or something. So I really enjoyed gliding. It wasn't frightening to me. Jumping out of an airplane, I've been in the back of transport aircraft, and I've been there, what do you call that? Sort of wired in.
Yeah, you kind of were almost.
Yeah, I was considering a military career at one point. That's another, but you never thought that before. But I've been in the back of troop transports, and they've opened the door where you would jump out the back end. So I know what it looks like from that angle. I know what it looks like from that high up, and I know what it's like to stand there, cinched in so that you can lean down and look out. I know what that looks like. I know what it feels like, and I don't think I could bring myself to just jump out, because I can't jump off a high diving board either. And it's the same mental exercise for me. So I can fly, but I don't think I could skydive. This is a crochet party with a real twist.
This is a twist and a half. I'm putting in a new pool.
Oh, would you jump out of an aircraft? I might warm up to the idea. I don't know. I think I would like to try that one you were mentioning earlier, in the where you can do it for fun at Niagara Falls, where you get into that suit and you get blown up.
I think I'd be more willing. I would try that. Willing for that.
Yeah. Just to get a feel for it.
Yes. There were a bunch of things I wanted to read out. First of all, Summer's husband is playing the new Subnautica game.
Oh, you've been playing
and
that.
I just want to say that I have the PlayStation Now membership, and that was one of the free games that you can play. Well, quote unquote free,
Paid
for by membership games. And I loved it. I mean, I'm still playing.
It was very.
But I was really surprised.
Like chill.
Yeah, I really like the Subnautica, the first one. I haven't played the new one, but I'm in the middle of the first one, and I really like it. It's a kind of a survival adventure,
all underwater.
adventure, but it's mostly underwater.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna have to do that the Harley video we talked about doing over the time.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Yeah.
I wanted to make you.
Maybe we'll share a photo of that too, but I don't know. That's a little it's a little personal there. I don't know if I want to expose my precious baby.
Your precious baby, yeah.
You're different.
Me,
you're like a wife
I'm
and
just...
stuff.
But the Harley, I mean, like I said, it predates me. You've had it for
it does. I keep forgetting that. Because, we've been married 1,000 years, remember?
Feels like forever. Okay, you know what? I think I'm getting faster. I know that everything I think sometimes the weight of the blanket underneath me is kind of helping keep sort of an even tension, and it doesn't want to move around on me too much. So I'm just attaching strip number 4 here for anybody kind of keeping track.
Debbie says, in my 20s, I got 2 speeding tickets in 2 counties inside of an hour.
Ooh.
I got 3 tickets in 1 weekend.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but they were stupid. Like one was we were in a park, like one of those, you go camping in international parks.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a stop sign that was on a cement, like you put an umbrella.
Yeah, yeah.
So they would move it around.
Okay.
So, when you're coming to an intersection, you kind of slow down in the park. And in a park, you're not going fast.
No.
So, I did the usual slow look and continued rolling around. Well, the park cop gave me a ticket for running a stop sign. And I was like, what?
Where?
So, and then I got a parking ticket, and then I got a speeding ticket, all in the same weekend.
Wow.
And these are literally like probably the only tickets I've ever gotten. I think I got one other one.
Oh my god.
So I think I've had 4.
That's hilarious.
And 3 of them were in 1 weekend. And I fought them all. Like I was like so annoyed. I think one of them I was agreed with. I can't remember, maybe the speeding ticket, maybe. I can't remember. But the other ones I fought because I was like, this is baloney. And I won.
Hey.
And I represented myself.
You represented yourself.
So I'm also a lawyer. That's my other superpower.
That's your other superpower. You can represent yourself.
There's another nugget for everyone. This question just keeps going, doesn't it?
It's a good question.
I've never had a ticket. Well, good for you.
I've been stopped, but I've never actually had a speeding ticket. I've had a parking ticket.
Oh my goodness. So I'm going to continue reading Debbie's thing here.
Yeah.
So in my 20s, I got 2 speeding tickets in 2 counties inside of an hour. I had to get from Coos Bay, Oregon to Portland, Oregon in under 2 hours to save my cousin's job. Challenge accepted.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Mr. State Trooper. That's
Bob Marley?
No, that's that. Is that Bob Marley or is that Canadian?
Or is that older?
Canadian rock band that we like with the female singer?
Boy, that's really narrowing it down for me.
Oh, the Cowboy Junkies.
Oh, the Cowboy Junkies.
Yeah.
I love that.
Does anyone know the Cowboy Junkies? They're really good.
She's got the most. If Velvet could sing, that's what she sounds like.
Franca says, I'm 50 and I have road rage. Oh my goodness. Speaking of road rage, we saw a video recently. This happened somewhere in Toronto.
Outside of Toronto.
Someone had their camera going on the dash, and there were these 2 cars like totally road raging each other and arms out, waving and middle
I feel
fingers.
like that's rare here.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It's rare. Like getting that off the rails.
Yeah.
It's rare. So then one guy smacks into the back of the other guy's tail light, like literally
Like
on purpose.
push the car with his.
Then he drives around and he's like gonna drive away to the right, and the other guy like rams him into the intersection, twists the car around, and they're literally sitting there ramming each other in the sun in the intersection.
It was just stunning.
And then they get out, and one guy grabs what looks like a stick or a bat. It was just
probably a hockey stick.
Nuts. A hockey stick, yeah. Hockey stick, eh? Anyway, I'm sure some of you have seen that video online. It was on the news.
It was astonishing to us because that level of upset does not seem to happen
It's all
very
lockdown
often.
related.
Yeah,
everyone's at their wits' end.
Everyone is at their wits' end.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. Not that there's any excuse for that, I will say, but I've been plenty angry while driving, and I've never
manufactured.
I've never done anything like that. But yeah,
I feel bad because people are being pushed to their limits.
Yeah,
and
I feel like they are.
Just doesn't really, it just seems strange. It's a strange thing.
It's very disturbing, that's for sure.
It doesn't make sense. So we've got lots of great answers here.
I want to hear some more.
Okay, let's see. Does anyone do fishing? Ice fishing. Has anyone ever done any ice fishing? I haven't. I've done regular fishing, but I've never tried ice fishing.
Definitely done regular fishing, catch and release sort of thing, but I've never done ice fishing.
Mm-hmm. So you want to hear the new poll I set up? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ending the poll.
Okay.
I haven't even looked at the answers yet. So let's see what we got here. So this is the poll I set up a few minutes back. It's got 67 votes. And the question was, do you think Mr. InStitches was able to convince Jayda to cut his hair last week? 61% of our viewers say yes.
Oh.
And 38% of our viewers said no. Well, are you going to answer the question?
Do you want to tell them what happened?
The answer is no. And trust me, I've been asking.
I cannot bring myself to cut his hair. I can't. I just can't. I've tried, but every week it gets longer and more luscious and more curly, and every single time he kind of fixes it and comes downstairs, I'm like, I can't cut that. I just can't bring myself to cut it. It's just too nice.
Well, I appreciate you appreciating my hair.
I have another silly question, I think.
So this is from Kenneth.
Yes,
Kenneth says, Jayda and Mr. InStitches, I want to thank you both today. I'm recovering from COVID at the moment, and this is the best medicine. Thank you many times over.
Stay strong.
Yes. We're glad you're recovering.
Yes. What a demon of a bug.
Yep. It's a poopy bug.
Yes.
But, on the bright side, I think most people that get it are absolutely fine.
Yeah, at least here.
I think 90.
It sounds like the recovery rate's pretty darn high here. The recovery
rate is like 98 point something.
It depends on the age group you're in, but
yeah. That is true. That is true.
But it does seem to be.
It's older folks that are more vulnerable, but we're glad to hear that. We're glad to hear many of you are recovering and good, because we get your comments and stuff.
It's worrisome, man.
It is worrisome. I will not be showing you my hair. I'm too embarrassed.
It does look like a cloud.
Sherry says, come to Oshawa. I'll buzz your hair. Okay.
Aww. Thanks, Sherry.
Does that hair buzz come with a lunch? Does it come with a free lunch and like ice cream? Because then I'm really coming.
I'll bring.
Jayda will bring a potluck.
I'll bring the potluck. I love potluck.
And then you can laugh at me while Sherry buzzes my hair, and We need the new emoji for the hair.
We
I know.
do.
I actually had one going, and then I didn't finish it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I actually did.
I wondered what was
yeah.
doing
I did an emoji where I had huge hair, but I haven't completed it. I like your star metal idea. I think we should.
I think we should do both. I think you should have a big hair emoji, and I think there should be the general goofiness medal.
Yeah, I think we should issue a get well soon to anyone who's feeling ill or down or recovering.
Yes, from whatever you may be recovering from.
Lots of make sure you get your vitamins and drink plenty of fluids and get some sunshine and
get some fresh air if you can. I know it's not always easy, but I find it it certainly helps. You can forget how long you're kind of bundled up inside. I am nearing the end of strip number 4. Okay.
I will not be showing my hair, especially when it's dry. Because when it's dry, it's
very poofy.
It just kind of shoots in all directions.
Very cloud-like.
When I get out of the shower, it looks a lot nicer.
Yes, it's very pretty.
But it doesn't stay like that.
No, and when it's hot like this, it just seems to get. It's funny. My hair goes and your hair goes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, virtual tourism, the virtual tourist
the Jayda
guide.
Mr. InStitches virtual tour agency.
We've got a couple of little
welcome all
welcome
to the seminar of June 11th.
Now these are sort of Italy sort of based, but if you feel like a little virtual trip to Italy, we have already talked about Pro Walk Tours. That is one of our favorite walking tour videos. The channel does he has 4K, very steady cam, just wanders around, doesn't talk through all these beautiful little Italian places. So Pro Walk Tours, love it. There's 2 more that we found recently. Travel Italy, or Italy Travel, Italy Travel, and I think the name of the channel is Italy-Travel, and he speaks in Italian, but he also dubs over in English, like you can hear it in English, and he just basically wanders around some of these little towns. The few that we watched were on Lake Garda in the north of Italy, absolutely gorgeous. It's a resort kind of place.
Super beautiful.
And that was he does really nice videos. He kind of mixes in some drone footage. He kind of shows places that you can go, talks about things you can do. So it's more of a kind of a tourism as opposed to just a walking thing. So he talks. So if you're into that kind of a guided tour of a place, those are pretty good videos. And if you want to dream about owning a villa in Italy, The Lake Show. This is a YouTube channel called The Lake Show. And this is a very charming Italian speaking in English, touring you around villas that are for sale. So that's kind of a fun little dream.
Sherry says if we go over, she'll make us butter chicken, and there's a Dairy Queen on the same block. So we're going to Sherry's place.
Butter chicken.
I'm gonna get a haircut. I'm gonna get butter chicken lunch, and I'm gonna get an ice cream.
Sounds like a perfect you kind of day.
It sounds like a great day. Maybe we'll take the Harley.
Yeah. All right, there's 4 rows so far. Guess I can come a little closer. How's that look?
Yeah, it looks really good. Filling the screen.
So it looks like, because I'm using the 38 rows, somehow the way it started, it looks like the color is going to work out perfectly every single time for each row. What are the odds of that? So the pink pretty much mirrors almost identically the pink.
It does.
That
oh my goodness.
is a real happy accident. So that means it's going to go pink shades, orange shades, yellow shades, pink shades, orange shades. Yeah, that totally happened by accident. That is one of the nicest little happy accidents. That is going to be so pretty. So 4 rows. I'm 4 rows into this sweet little thing. What a pretty little. Let's see how wide are we at? Now, keeping in mind, not yet 10 inches. 10 inches wide.
Nice.
So it's 26 by 10, not yet bordered. So 4 more rows, it'll be 20 inches across.
Super cute. I'm wondering if we should continue in another live stream.
Yeah, I think
how are your fingers feeling?
I've done 4. I'm just realizing that
Do you want to take a wild guess how long we've been streaming?
at least a couple
It's
hours.
definitely a record.
At least a couple hours.
You're not going to believe it if I tell you. 2 hours and 53 minutes.
Whoa! Oh my gosh. Okay. Almost 3 hours.
I don't know if we've ever gone this long.
We came to chill out. All right. So, okay. Well, if that's the case, then we'll just spend the next 7 minutes kind of answering a handful of questions.
Okay. Here's Frank
and wrapping up the project.
Frank is sharing another Italy tour channel.
Oh, yes.
So Franca says Castel Acquato.
Like 4 castles?
So
Castel Quattro?
Yeah, so 4 castles. Anyway, she's written it down. Northern Italy. Check it out on YouTube.
Sounds
we will
good.
check
We
it
will.
out.
Thank you.
Let's see what else we got here.
Yes, I like those ones. I'm trying to think of anybody else that I've seen lately that I really like. I love discovering channels that are like kind of outside the crochet realm, because it's really, I mean, obviously we all kind of know each other's channels, and we kind of probably get served a lot of each other's channels because we watch so much crochet.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun to kind of like go down we call it going down a rabbit hole. Like you know, hey, where's what mom, like Mom and Stitches found a photo on Pinterest.
Mhm.
It was of someone like kind of sitting from the perspective of sitting on a stone patio looking out over a lake and some mountains. And we were like, oh my gosh, I want to be there right now. Where is that? And so she did a little research and she sent us a video about Lake Garda in northern Italy, and we'd never heard of it before. Turns out it's the largest lake in Italy. Wow, who knew? And then we just went down this glorious rabbit hole of little touring videos all around these pretty little towns all around this lake. So what a pretty, even in winter, we saw, we looked it up, Lake Garda in winter. There's some really pretty videos of that lake and that lake region in winter that are really well done too. You're having a good time over there.
Yeah, I'm getting some ideas on how to get you to cut my hair. Jessica Rabbit says cut a chunk out, and then then Jada's forced to do it. Laura says my husband has curly hair too, and he has to beg me on his hands and knees for me to cut it. So I'm not the only one who's literally being abused with long hair.
Is it because it makes a gigantic mess, or is it because it's just so pretty you can't bring yourself to cut it? I think that's
Jada likes my curls.
I love his curls. He's got 3 times as much hair as I do, and it's just so pretty. I can't bring myself.
I'm actually prettier than you.
Yeah, you're definitely prettier than me. You have much prettier hair. So I'm thinking
someone had a really good answer here, and I lost it.
My plan is to do 8 more strips. So this is 4 strips equals 10 inches across. So 12 strips would end up being 30 inches across. And by the time I block it, it'll be roughly 30 by 30. So that's my plan. I think I got the first 4 done today, and then I'm going to do 8 more. So I might work on that a little bit on my own. I might work on it again if we do another live stream. I don't know. We'll see. It's the summer around here. We want to kind of keep cool and casual. So we'll probably mix up what we do in the live streams. A little more granny square game, a little more baby blanket, a little more crazy chat, and
we'll poll everyone and see what they'd rather see.
But
we have to continue the blanket.
I'm going to finish.
Look how cute that's
this
looking.
Is so pretty.
Can you hold it up against your chest so we can see kind of like the rough size? Yeah.
So that's 10 inches across.
Yeah.
Or 25
look at
centimeters.
That. It's what, another 3 strips or 4?
No, I'm going to do 8, so it'll be 30 inches across.
So you're going to double.
I'm going to triple it. So 4, 4, and 4.
Oh,
yeah. So
that sounds like it's going to be big.
30 inches
for a baby.
It'll be 30 by 30. Yeah, it's a good size.
Well, I lost that chat. It disappeared.
I love how the color is working out in this one. That is just delightful.
Christina has a great question. What's the greatest tip for someone who wants to start up a crochet club?
A crochet club.
Well, get the word out. Start with your friends and family.
Yeah, it depends. Like if you
And
know,
then, I mean, right now we don't know. Some places are open, some places aren't. So, but
some people have
I mean, we've
restrictions, some people
answered
don't.
this before.
We did a whole live stream on starting a crochet club.
Yeah, yeah. There's a whole live
we did a
stream
whole live
out
stream
there.
on it. So if you're,
You have to go to our live stream playlist.
Yeah,
What's it called?
I think it's called
How to Start a Crochet Club.
Starting a Crochet Club. I think that's literally what it's called.
Where's our employees of the month? Katie, I know you're here, Katie and Cameron.
Yeah, Katie,
they'll find it.
Katie, Cameron, and Shell, they might be able to find it.
Yeah, you're right. We did a
whole live stream on it because there are a lot of
years old, I think.
A lot of fun things to consider, but like any club, you want to keep it fun. You want to keep it casual. Giving everybody a project, so everybody's working on the same little project at the same time, is a really great way to start because you can all kind of compare notes on the same project. It doesn't have to be a single project that you're all working on, although you can do that down the road. But I feel like if you're just sort of getting comfortable with everybody, maybe it's like some new people, maybe it's people that you've, maybe they're friends or family, but you've never all sort of sat and crocheted before. Just your first meeting should be just kind of like feeling everybody out. Like, does everybody want to be serious about this? Do people want to learn? Are people there to just sort of kick back and relax, put their feet up and do a little crochet? Does everybody want to work on their own thing? Or does everybody want to like work on a single project together? Does everybody want to work on the same project, but separately? Kind of get an idea for what people are in the mood for. Keep your projects seasonal. So for example, if it's the summer and it's hot where you are, then, keep it cool. Make it a small project, a light project, a project that uses cotton or something kind of cool. For your first project, I'd make it something really small but simple and easy and useful, like a dishcloth. If you're all into making blankets, let's say you all kind of know all the same people and you've all got a common friend who's about to have a baby or something, then working on something like a Mighty Mile a Minute blanket or a Granny Square blanket or something really sweet that, or a whole sort of series of gifts that all kind of match and go together as a gift. That's a really fun project to do. You can have a charitable aspect to it. So if you know of an area, like an agency, like anything, church, charity, homeless shelter, animal shelter, anything in the area that takes homemade gifts or would like homemade things like hats and mittens or maybe mats and stuff for the animals. You can all decide to do a big charity thing where you all work on the same project or work on individual projects, but then all of it kind of goes to charity. That makes you feel good. There are so many things you can consider.
Katie found it for us.
Thanks, Katie.
So search Jayda InStitches, how to start a crochet or knitting group.
Perfect. So it was, okay, so I was pretty close.
Yeah.
Excellent.
March 2019.
March 2019.
That doesn't seem right.
That's 3 years ago. Right?
Is that 3?
2 years.
January,
2 ago with a few.
2 years ago.
2 years and a few months.
Yeah, that's right. I thought I said about 2 years. The dates are all messed up in my head now.
Yeah, it's hard to keep it all straight.
It's like we don't know what's going on, what's upside down, what's inside out. It's just nuts.
But yeah, that's a good one to watch. We've got all sorts of fun little ideas in there, and we talked about it.
Well, if we made you smile today and we kept you company and you had a good time, click the like button. Helps us out on YouTube.
Feel free to watch this again later if you want, or watch anything that we've done if you just want some company and you don't really want to pay too close attention to what we're visually doing, because that's what our live streams are really all about. It's just kind of like nice hangout sessions. Sometimes we play a game. Sometimes we sit here and do a little project. I love how this is starting out. I love where this is going to go. I think this is going to be a really pretty little blanket. And I also kind of wanted to be able to show everyone who's new to Mile a Minute blanket projects how a single strip from this year's calendar blanket can look all together. I love how this ball of yarn is working out with the strips all kind of repeating themselves so perfectly in such a pretty colorway. So there are so many things you can do with a Mighty Mile a Minute concept. You can really change it. Just changing up the color can change up the look. So that was a big part of this little project. Also wanted to see how fast I can do it. I think I did pretty good. That's a third of a blanket made from literally starting when we got going today. A third of a blanket made in almost 3 hours. So technically, if we did this sort of concept again, then in another 6 hours, I would have the blanket done. So this is technically a 9-hour blanket, I guess, with chatting and hanging out. Because I'm not fully focused on it.
And you were just like watching a show, you'd rip through it faster for sure.
But yeah, so there you go.
Even still, that was pretty quick.
Pretty little start. So thank you guys for hanging out today. We will see you soon around here. I'm going to remember to post a picture in the community tab for everybody to see a little later. Once I find it, it'll be, give me about 20 minutes. I have to like get my phone and see if I can find that bird picture. But I want to show you that crazy bird that I took like 300 photographs
Oh yeah, we're gonna share that
at Bird Kingdom
Yeah.
in Niagara Falls when we went, because it's so pretty. And if you know what kind of a bird it is, then make sure you comment under the post, because I think it was called like a golden partridge or a golden something, but one of you will know. I know you will. Somebody out there is a bird aficionado. And yeah, stay cool, stay clean, stay healthy, stay crafty. Have a great weekend, guys. I hope everybody has a chance to put their feet up and just do a little bit of their favorite crafting. No matter what the crafting is, I am going to try and do some sewing this weekend, because it's been a while and I just need to hear the whir of my sewing machine. So I'm gonna come up with something.
Excellent.
Yeah. So yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. There we go.
I think we hit a record today.
3 hours. That's definitely the longest.
Yeah. Thanks for sticking around.
Fun
hanging out with everyone. Thanks for participating.
Pop in, pop out. Thanks for hanging out, doing the polls along with us, answering some crazy questions, and thank you everyone for the super chats and the wonderful support. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we'll see you soon here.
Have a great weekend.
Yes, enjoy the rest of your Friday.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye, guys.